Yo, my people, I wanna dinner like the video, subscribe, smash the like button, smash the like button, guys. Smash the like button, like the video, guys, like the video, subscribe, smash the like button, guys, smash the like button. Get that freaking likes up, like the video, guys. So, guys, this is the Saudi Hangout where we're gonna be talking about football. We're gonna be talking about Caicedo, Andre Onana, Chelsea product of Onana, Nicholas Jackson, Hakim Ziyech to Saudi Arabia, Gabri, Veiga talk, Maignan to Chelsea, and Matthew Kovacic to Manchester City. We're gonna talk about it, and any potential news, we're also gonna talk about it too. Like the vid, subscribe, smash the like button, like that freaking vid, smash that like button, smash that like button, get that freaking like so 3K, get the likes and the subscribe to 3K, guys. Get that subscription to 3K, like and subscribe, everybody. Smash that like button, guys. Smash that like button, everybody. Like the vid, subscribe, man. Let's go, my people. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go, my people. Can you guys see? Yeah, hold on, guys. Yo, my people, I wanna dinner like the video, subscribe, smash the like button, smash the like button, smash the like button, guys. Like that video, smash the like button, like that video, guys. Like that video, my people. So let's talk. We're gonna a little topic to talk to tonight about so many topic. But firstly, we're gonna talk about Caicedo potential. We're gonna submit an official bid for Caicedo and Brighton next week, with the aim of getting it done for like 80 million pounds. So that's how much Chelsea wants to pay to get it done. So we will be able to structure the deal for 80 million. Then personal terms is not a problem. And I think an agreement could be reached for 80 million next week. And also we are about to trigger the release clause of Nicolas Jackson, the Senegalese forward. We're gonna trigger the release clause too. We're also gonna talk about Hakim Ziyech going to Al Ahly in Saudi Arabia. We're also gonna talk about Gabri Vieira, the South Africa player. We are also looking at him also too. We're also going to talk about Andre Onana, potentially as Chelsea has pulled out from Onana deal. We already pulled out from Onana deal, and I think we're also going to look at Matthew Kovacic to Manchester City for 14 million. I think once Ike Gundogan goes, we're gonna bid him for. Man City is gonna buy Kovacic. I think once Gundogan leave, they're gonna buy Kovacic. I think we're gonna talk about Maignan because if we're talking about goalkeeper, that is someone I kind of wanted, and I think it will eventually happen because that's someone I kind of wanted for a very long time. Hopefully, we can get Big Mac into the squad, and it's gonna help us a lot. But I wouldn't mind Onana, but according to the report, we've put out of Onana, which I don't blame the board putting out of Onana because I think Inter Milan wants to play us in terms of the valuation. And I think if they don't succumb to what we want, I think Chelsea will just pulled out of it, which is not bad to pull out of because which is not bad for me though. Um, Chelsea is going to sell Broja now that we got Nicola Jackson. For me, we gotta wait and see though because I'm not sure. I think we might loan in Dasto Fafana if we can get in Jackson in, and I think potentially maybe the problem is are we paying 150 for Osimhen or Lautaro Martinez? I think it depends on who we are paying the money for. So Chuk Talk Football said Chelsea are looking for the main striker, which is Osimhen and etc. Potentially gonna see. So are we gonna have a double striker next season? Or are we gonna have a backup striker? It depends though, because Jackson is 21, Osimhen is 24. So it depends on what we want. Yeah, competition is very very important in the squad. It's like Newcastle having Isaac and Callum Wilson, because if you have a Isaac and Callum Wilson who can score you goals anytime, any day, I think you should be good because Wilson can score you like 20 goals without injury free, and I think Alexander Isaac can also score that goals too. I think competition is very very important, but we have to wait and see. But for me, let me start with Hakim Ziyech because when we talk, people say, are we selling our dead wood? What is going on with the dead wood in Chelsea? What are we doing with them? Are we keeping them? We are not happy. The dead wood is being kept. And I'm like, Chelsea board are kind of trying their best. They aren't keeping any dead wood because they have to be sure. If they're gonna sell it, they're gonna be sure that this player we are selling, we're gonna make money of it. And if they're not gonna make money of the player they're selling, they're not gonna sell the player. I think Ziyech going to Al Ali in Saudi Arabia for me is a good deal for me because Ziyech going potentially open up so much spaces for players to come in, like wages of the players and everything. So Ziyech going, I'm happy Ziyech is leaving. I think he can go to Saudi Arabia to kind of show more of a potential, and I think an European team can buy him though. It depends on which team is willing to pay his wages. And I think Saudi Arabia are willing to pay his wages, which is for me, which is for me a good deal for him. He should go there, and I think if he go there, it's gonna be successful there. It depends on what is being done. I think Ziyech going there for me isn't that bad as long as he's gonna get the playing time, showcase his talent. I think he's going to. I think Al Ali or Al Nassr, I think is in between both of them, but he's going to Saudi Arabia for me though, which for me is not bad which for me is not bad because now he's gonna be making his money, show off his talent, and I think he's gonna be enjoying himself because Benzema is already there and N'Golo Kante possibly there. So for me, it's not a bad deal as long as is there. For me, it's not a bad deal for me. It is not. It's not a bad deal for me. So I think Ziyech going to Saudi Arabia for me is for me good. If you can let go of Kova, Conor Gallagher, Kai Havertz, Mason, I think it's also good for the wage bill. And I think if Koulibaly also can be moved on, Edward Mendy is being moved on too. I think the wages can be cut down where is manageable and maximizable for the team going forward, which kind of help the team a lot because if we can cut off the wages down and also I think try and how do I put it? Apart from cutting off the wages down, try and balance the book because we know there's an FFP by June the 30th. You gotta sell play, and I think that's why Chelsea are putting majority of the players on chopping block where they don't care how much they're gonna lose. They have to sell the players too, and I don't blame them because they've made some silly ass decision which they have to rectify for me. And I think for me, them selling some of the players to make money is not bad. I think we can make a lot of money. It depends on for me, it depends on how much we're gonna make in terms of player sales because we have to understand we're gonna sell players to make money. So if we don't sell, how do we make money? You gotta sell to make money. So I think we have to sell players overall to make money. And if you don't sell player, there isn't way in hell we can make money. So I think okay, our Nasri, according to Fabrice, our Nasri. So I think him going to Saudi Arabia is good for his morale booster, where he'll be able to play more, show off his talent, and I think he'll be able to do more, show off his talent, and I think play his football for me. So I think Ziyech going to Saudi Arabia is not bad. It's not bad for me. It's all about what can we do with him in terms of okay, now you're in Saudi Arabia now, show more, show your talent. It's about him picking up this team and showing off, showing his potential that he's good enough to play. I think he's gonna be playing with Ronaldo. I think because Ronaldo is our Nesri, I think he'll be playing with Ronaldo. So we have to wait and see. I think if we can ship up Ziyech, Kova, Kai, Mason, Koulibaly, maybe Cucurella, we have enough fund where we can actually rebuild the team in terms of balancing the book, making sure everything is balanced in terms of balancing the book. Also, wages of the players, cutting it down, making also because trimming the squad, which is very, 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 very pivotal. We gotta trim the squad. Because if you don't trim the squad, how do we buy players if you don't think because we can't have bloated squad. It doesn't make any sense having a bloated squad. You gotta trim the squad. Whether we like it or not, we have to trim the squad. And I think if you can trim the squad for me, I think that's not bad if you can trim the squad. Make it more easier if you trim the squad and give the new manager chance to build the team in his own vision. And I think that's the key. If the manager can build the team in his own vision, I think that's better because he will be able to trim the squad and make some consolidatory solution to what he want, how he wants his team to play, whatever he wants the team to do. I think it's pivotal for the new manager for me to trimming the squad, like giving him a small squad where he can work with. And like I said, people, we don't have injuries. The team is injury free, which is very, very good for us because I said injury free, my bad. No Champions League, no Europa League. It's just gonna be Premier League, Carabao Cup, and FA Cup, which for me is not bad. If you can go far in the Premier League, win the Carabao Cup and FA Cup, that's a good season for us. You can actually just build for upcoming season. Never can tell. I should have shot in the Premier League, but let's see. Let's see though. But let's see. Let's see though. Vote for office said didn't didn't I say on the last time that Nicola Jackson was replacing Kaya Havertz? You laughed. Chelsea are finishing eighth next season. Also I said Poch wasn't gonna get Onana. Yeah, I agree with you with Onana, but I don't think we are replacing Kai with Nicola Jackson for me though, because the problem is I can understand Jackson, which we're gonna get into very, very soon. But like I said, we gotta wait and see on that. Like I said, for me, we have to make sure we trim the squad and balance the book. It is very important. We gotta balance the book. Once we trim the squad, balance the book, sell players that needed to be sell, and also trim the squad to what the new manager want in terms of going forward. And I think let's see where we finish next this coming season. I'm excited with the way the season is, and I think we have to wait and see. Gotta wait and see. So Kai, Mason, Gallagher, Cucurella, Koulibaly, Mendy, potentially going Hakim Ziyech, leaving also too. Pulisic might leave. So we have some potential players leaving, which is not bad, which also make sense. And I think player like Caicedo, Jackson, another player can come in, VM, whoever wants to come in, also kind of help the team in terms of going forward. So we have to wait and see. We gotta give the new manager chance, like Mauricio Pochettino, to see where we're heading. Like I said, no Champions League, no Europa League. I expect us to finish maximum second. Is it really? That's what I expect us to finish. As the Chelsea fans, we have to aim high, go far in the FA Cup, potentially win the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, win it. Then let's see where we finish in the Premier League. For me, if that happens, we finish second or third. That's a good season for us. We can build for the upcoming season. But let's give it a try. Never can tell. Let's give it a try. Smash that like button, guys. Like that freaking vid. Like that damn vid. Like that damn vid. Subscribe, guys. Smash that like button. My people, smash the like button. Mr. K, how you doing, brother?
I do, my God, there. How you doing?
Good. Give me your take on Hakim Ziyech to Al Nassr, Saudi Arabia. 30 million a year.
I mean, I was expecting them to offer him more salary, but let's see how the deal ends. He's one of those guys I feel like they should get rid of first. So that's a good deal. Get him off the books. So yeah, it's exciting times. Get those deadwood off the books. So, yeah, I mean, I don't have much to say.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Let me read the shout here. Vote for Fit said, let me see. What kind of Chelsea is this? We are a big club, but we're acting like we are Wolves or Fulham. I think vote. I can understand what you mean by the statement, but I think the problem for me is we gotta understand the dilemma in which this ownership have come in. They've messed up a lot of stuff and they are trying to rectify everything. It's gonna take a lot of time for them to rectify it. 150 is Osimhen. Are we gonna pay 150 for Osimhen? I'm not dealing with the Laurentiis. Lautaro Martinez potentially 90 million. So, like, we have to sell players first to buy players. We got to sell to buy. It's very, very pivotal and important to sell players and to trim the squad, which is very key. Because if you don't trim the squad, how do you expect to make sales? How do you expect to buy players? And how do you expect to sell players if we do not trim the squad? Very, very important. Very, very pivotal. We gotta shout out to USSB. Hi, how you doing, SSB? How are you? So, like, I vote. I understand what you said. I got you, brother. I get what you said, but you gotta understand something. Chelsea is in a situation where we put ourselves into this situation, and we have to rectify it. So it's complicated, but let's see. Let's see, because like I said, people need to understand something. This is a new regime where it is different. The problem is SSB. The problem is I only watch him feel in in the World Cup, but I think I watched some of the Villarreal matches, and I kind of like what I saw in him. My problem is I need to watch him more to actually be very sure of him. But we're gonna talk about him though. SSB will talk about him. But for me, sending Ziyech to Saudi Arabia for me makes sense. Get the money, move. We can potentially build, cut him off the wages, we move, which makes me happy because we're gonna sell so many players to make to balance the book and make tons of money. So Ziyech potentially going, N'Golo Kante potentially in Saudi Arabia. So it's not a bad deal to make though. It's not. It's not a bad deal to make though. It is not. But like I said, I'm I'm happy with the decisions we are making. I'm happy with the decisions we are making. So we gotta see where all this end us into. But like I said, I don't want to judge the ownership right now. Yeah, they have made some weird ass decision where I criticize them. Everybody criticize them. We have to go off their neck in terms of how they spend money and everything. But I think they're trying to rectify everything and make sure everything is being balanced. So we have to wait and see, man. But let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see for me though. It's a matter of let's see. Let's see. Let's see how everything pans out. Like I said, no Champions League, no Europa League. I expect us to finish maximum second or third, win the Carabao and win the FA Cup for me. For me though, win the Carabao Cup and win the FA Cup for me. We gotta do that. We gotta win it. Very pivotal. It's very, very pivotal. So we have to. Yeah. True stock football for me, it needs to go make the money. 30 million a year is not a bad deal. It needs to go make the money. He needs to feed his family. So CH, I'm not mad you're going. I'm happy you're leaving. And because we have to sell guys, people need to understand we have to sell players to balance the book. There's no way there's no way we're gonna buy player without selling because we have so many bloated squad. So it's important for us to sell players, whether we like it or not. It is very, very pivotal for us to sell players. It is pivotal. So let's see. Let's see. So another player I want us to talk about is hold on. Is this South Africa guy. I don't know much about him, but people in the chat, you can help me out with him. How good is this guy? Because for me, he looks like a number eight for me. I don't know what position he does play, but he looks like a number eight for me. So my problem is how good is he? He plays for I think he plays for South Africa. So he plays for South Africa for me. I don't know how good he is, but I think according to what I'm hearing, the report I'm hearing is a number eight who can drift into number 10 and also play multiple position. But I think it's a number eight. So for me, if it is number eight, then I think that shows me we're already letting go of Mount and Kai Havertz, bringing a replacement. But I need to watch this guy more because I'm not sure yet how good of a player he is. I think he's 20 years of age. He's number eight. So if you're gonna get, we are losing Kovacic, we are losing Mason, potentially Kai Havertz. So we need a replacement. How good is it? People that watch the Spanish football needs to come in and let us know how good of a player is Gabri Veiga for a play for Celta Figo. He plays for Celta Figo. Abdul, how you doing, brother? Abdul, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, man.
Abdul,
Yeah,
yeah, I
I'm
can
here.
hear
Big
you.
up. Big up, man.
Give
What's
me
up,
your
man?
take. Gabri Veiga, your take on the guy. He plays for Celta Figo as a number eight.
Yeah, yeah. So the thing is, yeah, big up. So the thing is, I watched one of his game, and in that game, Celta Vigo played 4-2-4, and he was
Mm-hmm.
one of the other central midfielder. So he was playing in a pivot six.
Okay.
And then I watched another game, and they were playing sort of. I watched one game, and they were playing 4-4-2, and he was one of they played two central midfielders, and he was one of the central midfielder. You get it? And then I
Mm-hmm.
watched another game where they played 4-4-2, but he was one of the twin striker. You get it now? So I watched
Mm-hmm.
one game where he was a central midfielder, and I watched another game where he was pairing the striker. He was one of the striker. So he was one of the twin striker up front. So he played two
Okay.
different roles. You get it?
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't see him doing anything special. In the game where he played central midfield, where the team was playing 4-4-2, he actually scored two goals, but he was in central midfield. And then in another game where they played 4-4-2, and he was one of the two up front, where he played with the twin as a twin striker. Okay, he didn't score, and I don't think he scored a goal in that game. So number one, I wouldn't say there's anything special in him, but I will kind of describe what I think I saw. You get it? So in midfield, he plays a very simple game. So you give him the ball, he looks for the next guy to pass to.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that I think is his unique strength is when the ball is in the defense and you want to do a rapid counter attack, he runs quickly forward. You know them kind of players where he can run forward,
Mm-hmm.
and when you give him the ball, he can be playing like 1-2 touches with you and arrive at the box. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's his strength. So I think he's very good at counter attack, but he's not as a midfielder. He's not. He doesn't look to me like one of those midfielders that has a hard tackle. You get it? Like he's not a tackler. He's not a DM. So, but if you want to, so he can. You know the way Lampard used to arrive at the box from midfield. Is that kind of is similar in that way, but he's very quick.
But he just 20 for me. So, and I think manager like Pochettino can improve his deficiency and make him much better player because he's just 20. So,
I
which he has a lot
I,
of talent.
I don't know what one can call his deficiency now, but you can definitely see his attributes that his positive attributes, like what he can bring to the game. So if you're playing strong defense and you want to be playing counter attack, is very good at that.
Okay.
So it's very good, like one touch, and then you move rapidly to attack. And that transition from defense to attack, you get it, as a midfielder, I think it's very good. I think that's his main strength that I observed. But it's not what I would call a complete midfielder, like a midfielder who can defend, who can attack. He's just good for like counter attack. And then he can play up. He played up front, but he really didn't do anything spectacular. But he's very good at running into the opposition 18 yard and arriving at the box. And obviously he can score okay goals. But I wouldn't say he's the guy that will make us, win the league or not win the league. But he'll be a very good addition because of his age. I'm trying to think
Because
about
the because Abdul, the way I look at him, the way I look at him, it look more of a number 8 to me than look more of a number 8 to me, someone that can
yeah. So
give him the ball.
he'll be very good at the midfield if you have a DM. So if you play like 4 3
Yeah.
3, he'll be like one of the number 8s, but not the DM. So if he has a DM, he'll be a very good. He will look good in the midfield. You get it? He will look good in the midfield because he can spring. He has good passes, good neat passes, and then he can arrive at the. So he's more or less like a Lampard. His style is very similar to that of the Lampard. When you play with the Lampard as a number 8, and then you have a DM behind him, and then you just want him to bump forward. He will be very good in that kind of role. I think that's his main attribute. That's his main attribute. But I don't think you want him to do things like
Fair enough.
create chances, be a number 10, spray passes. No, I don't think he can do. He can. I don't think he's really good for that. But he's good. Like you can see him. You see him like a Lampard. That's how I see him. So he's okay because of his age and for the amount we can get him. So will he be able to deliver? He'll be able to deliver. But are we going to be able to rely on him? I don't think we can rely on him. He will still need, he will still need help. He will still need help. But with a DM, you will get the most of him because he'll be able to go up front. So, he's better. He's better than a McTominay, and McTominay plays for Man United.
United, okay.
So he's better than McTominay. I think he's better with everything than Zachariah, but maybe Zachariah can defend better than him. You get it?
Okay.
Zachariah is more physical and can defend better than him. Um, he's good at arriving at the box. He's good at arriving at the box than um, Enzo. I think he'll be better as a number 8 than Enzo. You get it?
Mm-hmm.
And if you have a Caicedo being a DM, then he'll be very good as a number 8. Um, if
Fair
he can
enough.
if he can adapt, if he can adapt, I think I'll prefer him than Odegaard as a number 8.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
You
Because he's
prefer him
very
than
quick.
Odegaard.
Because he's very rapid. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? He's very rapid at arriving at the box, and he's very good at and he can score very good goals. You get it? So if you play him with a DM, he'll be very useful because he will get the ball quickly to the. It doesn't mean he will carry it. He will carry the ball by himself. But you know when you want to quickly give the ball to somebody and you want the person to pass to another person, and then he runs forward and then you pass to him again. You know that
Mm-hmm.
kind of movement. So he's very good at
Yeah.
like one touch football and you moving the ball quickly.
Hmm.
You know,
Fair enough.
quick in transition. Them kind of players that is very quick in transition is very good. You have to watch him for transition because he's got a very good touch and he can do quick 1-2 passes and it's very quick. It's very rapid. I wouldn't say it's explosive, but he's rapid in running forward, and he knows how to run, how to arrive at the box, and he knows how to score a good goal. So that's what I think is. I think that's the reason why we will want him.
Hmm. Fair enough. I'll have to watch him more, keep my eye on him more because I think I only watched his clip one or few times. I have to watch him more just to be sure
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
player we're getting, his profiling,
yeah.
how we can work
I
with
need
Pochettino's.
to I need to I need to watch him more as well. But from the games
Mm-hmm.
I've seen, those that's what I could take note. So I can see why a big team would want him because he's 20 and he wouldn't cost much. And if he can develop you can tell he can develop into a good player because he's only 20
Yeah.
now. You can so
Mm-hmm.
tell. And he's quite tall and lanky, but I don't know how strong he is. But he's only 20, so he can become, quite physical.
Fair enough. Abdul, it will be done next week. Potentially, it will be done next week.
Who's that?
Matteo Kovacic to Manchester City for 30 million.
Kovacic to Man City for how much? 30 million?
40 million.
40 million?
Yeah.
So that's 40 million euros or pounds?
I think 40 million. Which one is more bigger? Is it pounds or euro?
Pounds is higher.
Okay, I think it's 40 million pounds and approximately 30 million euro.
No, no, no. Maybe 30 million pounds and then 40 million
Mm.
euros.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that.
Or,
Yes,
or,
exactly.
or, or, or like 35 million euros and that's 30 million pounds.
Yeah, something like that. Yes.
I think that's a good bargain. So if we can generate some decent money, I wouldn't mind because what it is then we can go out and buy good players. We already know what Kovacic. I
Mhm.
mean, we've been watching Kovacic for 4 years.
Yep.
Have I seen anything
Yep.
different? I haven't seen anything different. I've watched him for Chelsea so many times. I've watched him for Croatia. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if he was in the midfield with Croatia in the last World Cup, and Modric Modric is still better than him in the midfield at 37. So if we can get 30 something million, that's almost like the amount we paid for him, and we've played him for like 4 seasons. I think we're lucky to get him for that amount. I think we're lucky to get him for that amount. I mean, yeah, I think we're lucky to get that amount for. I'm glad that we can buy a different profile because we need to we need to totally change our team and how we play. You know,
Fair enough. Fair
I
enough. Because
you
for me,
know we appreciate him for what he's done,
because for me,
but
the question I
he's
ask
only going to
myself
be
is,
a
hmm,
he's only going to be a squad player at City. Who's going to bench if
I
everybody's
think
fit and
Gundogan
available?
is going. I think
Okay,
Gundogan is going.
so you think he's going to play ahead of Gundogan?
No, Gundogan
So no,
is leaving Manchester. I think it's
sorry. You think he's going to you think he's going to deliver better than what Gundogan is delivering?
I don't think he's gonna give up what Gundogan. I think he will deliver in Man City. And that depends on where does Pep plays him. Does he play him as a number 8? Does he play him behind a striker? Where does Pep plays him?
No. What I'm saying is, if is he replacing Gundogan?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. Because Pep said
Okay,
he's very good in tight space. That's the reason they are getting him.
okay, so we know what Gundogan is, what Gundogan does. So he's going
Hmm.
to replace Gundogan. I don't think he's a better substitute to Gundogan. So he's only, and to be honest, I don't really care, man, because I've already seen his ceiling. I know what he can do. I know what he can't do, and we're getting almost what we paid for him. So why am I complaining?
Hmm.
And why is he leaving Chelsea to go to Man City? No, so that I just believe is
I think that's the only thing that's the only thing that has shown ambition to buy him.
exactly. So no, but what I'm saying is why? Because I think um what do you call it? Chelsea wanted to keep him, or Chelsea would love to keep him. So
No, Abdul, he has 1 year on his contract, so he has only 1 year on his contract.
no, but what I'm saying is, are Chelsea were Chelsea willing to keep him, or we just said we're not
I
renewing?
don't think so. I don't think
Okay,
so.
okay, so maybe Pochettino doesn't want him then. If Poch
Yeah,
doesn't want him,
I think
you
so.
know, look for that amount, right? I heard that the guy you had on the screen, the Spanish kid,
Hmm.
how much is the Spanish kid going for?
Yeah,
How much is the Spanish kid going for?
35 million release clause.
35. The
You mean
guy you
the
just
you mean the is it Viagra or Jackson?
no Vieja or what's his name? How much do they want for him?
Okay. Yeah, 35 million release clause. 35,
Exactly.
35, 35, 35. From
Exactly.
Celta
So
Vigo.
you exactly. So if they ask me to pay 35 for that kid, and I'm getting 35 for Kovacic, and that kid is only 20, I'm going to go for that option. I'll get the Celta Vigo kid because he's 20, and I will allow. I think that's a good business to me. I'll allow the Celta Vigo kid. You can definitely tell that if that guy keeps improving, he's definitely going to be a Spanish international. He's definitely going to be a Spanish international. You could tell. That's if he's not even Spanish international as it is. So I will have the kid instead of I will let Kovacic go. I'll take the money and then I'll go get this kid.
Fair enough.
So if we have the kid, we have Caicedo, we have Enzo. Who else are we looking for again? Who else are we
We're
targeting
looking
for middle?
into Romeo Lavia, but we'll see. We don't know how concrete that is.
Oh, Lavia.
But
Okay.
questions.
No, I wouldn't go for Lavia because I think Lavia will be too expensive. I'll find some other young, exciting kid.
Hmm.
Or maybe I'll go look for another experienced, cheap option.
Fair enough. You
You know,
see, though.
that's a good midfield right there, man.
And that's the squad
Enzo,
depth. Remember, Santos is coming back. He's been given work permit to play for Chelsea.
yeah,
So we have so many
so
players coming into the season where we can use them more. So
exactly.
there's a lot
So
of scope.
I'll be happy if we can get 5 or 6 quality young midfielders that are not expensive.
Mhm.
I'll be happy to have them go into the season. I'll be really happy to have like 5 or 6 young midfielders go into the season, and you know the old guard can leave. And also, I'm a bit tired of going through the same wheels of players. You know, the Loftus Cheek and all these guys who have not delivered for so long. You know, so the Kovacic, the whatever, they can all go, man. We need to change the midfield.
Fair enough. So another topic I want us to talk about is the last time we talked about this guy, we talked about him, and people were like, maybe, maybe not. A lot of people were very skeptical when it comes to him. But Abdul, I need to take on him, Andre Onana. Chelsea are potentially pulled out of Andre Onana deal. They won't be going for Onana anymore. They have potentially pulled out of Onana. Give me your take on that.
What was the problem? They were asking for too much money.
Yeah, I think 70 million.
Come on, man. Onana is not 70 million. Why would they want 70 million for Onana? They think it's the old Chelsea. They can just rob us of money.
That I am not sure.
What's the reason given for pulling out of the Onana deal?
That I'm not sure of.
Okay, it's probably money related
I
or
think the
fine.
reason is in I think it's because of Inter Milan because Inter Milan want Lukaku. They want bonus for Lukaku. While Chelsea say they don't want a loan, they want a permanent sale. And I think Inter Milan want Khalidou Koulibaly, and they want also a bonus for Chelsea. And Chelsea said no. So Chelsea were speaking to Barella and Onana, but Inter Milan increased their prices for Onana, and Chelsea said no, they are pulling out.
Okay, so they don't want to release Onana. Currently, as it stands, Onana is not really
Mhm.
the best keeper in the world. I mean, I would have loved Onana because Onana is a good keeper and his ball distribution is very good for a keeper. But
Mhm.
I don't want the case anymore where because what it looks like is we are building a young squad. And the only
Mhm.
reason I think we're going for this option is probably because they don't want to spend as much and they want to give extended contract, like long term, I mean long contracts to those kids. So
Yeah.
maybe they find Onana to be too expensive. If they find it to be too expensive, I think we can find another keeper. Find another keeper. I think there's a lot of keepers available. Um, but the thing is, I don't think it will be too difficult to find a keeper that is better than Mendy and Kepa. See, that's the thing. I don't think it will be difficult to find a keeper
Mm.
that is better than those two. So, so why do I
Yeah,
have to
I
pay?
probably agree with you. You're right, but the problem is, I can see. I love Abdul. My problem, I love Onana because of his ball distribution and everything. But I'm still a little bit skeptical with Onana when it comes to his shot stopping, though. That's my only issue with him. And sometimes his head is always out of his order because sometimes his decision making sometimes can give you hypertension.
No, I wouldn't worry about all
But he's
that.
a very good keeper who I
In
rate very,
terms,
very, very
in,
well.
in terms of ability, I wouldn't worry about his ability.
Okay.
I think he's a confident keeper, a keeper that commands his goal area. So I'm fine with Onana, but if Chelsea don't want to pay, I don't think what I'm trying to say is if Chelsea don't want to pay the asking price, it's not going to be difficult to find a keeper that is better than Kepa and Mendy. You understand what I'm saying?
I agree.
So exactly. So if it's getting too expensive, we just have to turn somewhere, and it's not going to be that much difficult to find. And that guy is it from Brentford? That Spanish player from Brentford. I think
David Ryan.
yeah, I think they're asking for like 40 million or so.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's another good option. I think it's better than Kepa and Mendy.
Yeah.
If we go to the French league, I think we can easily find goalkeepers that are better than those two. Um, who's the keeper of Leicester City now?
Um, I think it's not as Pasmaker has gone to.
No, he's gone. That one is gone.
Um, I think it's Iverson though. Iverson.
Who's Iverson?
Iverson though. But we'll see. We'll see.
Okay,
We'll
I'm
see.
trying to
I
see.
love Onana, but I think Everton is a Leicester City goalkeeper for me though. They bought him from one
Who's the
club. I've
who's
forgotten
the
the club
who's
they
the
bought him for.
who's
So,
the
but the name
Napoli
is Iverson.
who's the Napoli keeper?
Meret. Meret.
I don't even know who that is, man.
Yeah, me too.
So there's a lot of keepers around. It's not difficult to find a keeper.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oblak. So Oblak is
No,
that's a lot of money, man.
that'll be like two. They'll be asking for
Who's you can
ridiculous.
join the show, brother?
They'll be they'll
Who's
be
join the who's
they'll be asking for ridiculous
who's
amount of
join?
money, and because they know it's Chelsea, they'll probably add 10%. So what's the point, really?
Mm-hmm.
So
He,
for me,
but Abdul, my problem with it is, Abdul, my problem with it is, I rate Onana very highly, but the way Inter Milan are doing, they are kind of annoying me because they want to do a discount with Chelsea. Which Chelsea are saying no. You want Lukaku? Yes, Lukaku doesn't want to come back. He's already stated it. He spoke to Pochettino according to the report, but he told
oh,
Poch he's staying in Inter Milan. Does not want to
hang
come
on,
at all. So
Abdullah,
Koulibaly
Abdullah,
problem. Koulibaly is thinking about.
Abdullah, hang on. So what about if you what do you
Mm-hmm.
feel if we exchange Lukaku with Onana? They can have Lukaku, we can have Onana, zero balance. We don't pay anything, they don't pay anything. Straight swap.
Yeah, but no, but Abdul, Inter Milan Inter Milan want to no, they want to defraud us by raising the bar. I'm hearing 70 million for Onana. Chelsea said no because they have to pull out of him immediately. So I love Onana, but Chelsea wants to pay 40-45 for Onana, while Inter Milan wants 60-65 or max 70. And Chelsea said,
No,
okay, that cannot be done. So Inter Milan are doing the bargaining fee with Chelsea with Koulibaly and Lukaku, getting the bonuses so they can get him on a permanent deal or a loan. And Chelsea said, if we want to get a loan, they have to be a mandatory buy in Lukaku, not a just pure loan. It has to be a mandatory buy, which Inter Milan look a little bit not sure. But another talk will be held next week where that will define the future of Koulibaly and Romelu Lukaku next week.
nah, big up Cruz. What's going on, man?
Big up, guys. Big up, man.
How you doing,
Big
brother?
up.
I'm good, bro. I'm
Coach,
good.
your take on Chelsea pulling out of Andre Onana?
Yeah, I just heard you say it now. I didn't even know they pulled out. But if the fee is, what did you say, 65 million?
Mm-hmm.
That's way too much.
DiMaggio reported,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's way.
70 million. Yes,
No, that's
that's
too
what Inter
much. So
Milan.
I like, to be honest, the negotiations that I'm hearing so far, the way we're approaching this window, I don't mind it. Even the young guy that we just brought now from Villarreal, Nicholas Jackson, even the fees that we're commanding for some of the players, I think they've learned some lessons. It looks like, So I mean, if they can learn fast and get some good players
Yes,
in, but
they
not
have.
spend so much, then yeah, I'll be happy with that. But yeah, we can't afford to overspend on players. Onana is a good goalkeeper.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong, but there's no way he's a 70 million pound goalkeeper right now. He's not a 70 million pound goalkeeper. So I think it's the right decision. We need a keeper, but I don't think we need to pay that much.
That's what I
There's
said
only
as
one
well.
guy I
I
would
don't
love
think
to pay one above odds for. We'll talk about him very soon.
Who's that?
But we'll see though. We'll see because I see Abdul Cruz. We'll talk about him soon. My problem with Inter Milan are very very corrupt team. Where they know they don't have the money, but they want to get players from us. And just after the day, we need to sell players to balance the book. We need money. Just tired of Lukaku. They want Lukaku gone. Koulibaly wants to go too. So we want Onana. But the problem is that giving us high fee for Onana. Just say we are gonna walk away. We walk away from Ugarte. So we're gonna walk away from so many deals.
no. I
The
don't
money is too
think
much.
it's. I don't think it's the matter of we need the money. I think it's just a matter of they have just been strategic.
Mm.
So they know we need to rebuild practically the entire team. So if you want to build the entire team or you want to build a squad, a new squad, because a lot of players will be allowed to leave or a lot of players are going to be sold, you're not going to go out and start buying every player for 100 million. How much are you going to spend? So the thing is, we are in a situation where they need to build a squad, build a new squad. So we have to be strategic about it. So we're not going to drop 70 million for like a keeper, except that keeper is, a Ballon d'Or level. Except it's a keeper that can win the Ballon d'Or, then we can say, okay, maybe we'll put 70 million down. But for an Onana, when we know there's a lot of keepers out there that we can fetch for cheaper and they'll still be better than Kepa and Mendy, why are we going to buy? Why are we going to drop 70 million for Onana? I think that's too much. I think they're being greedy, really, and they're only being greedy because they know they're dealing with Chelsea,
Yeah.
or they think they're dealing with the old Chelsea. But in terms of Onana, I'll be comfortable really if we do a straight permanent swap with Lukaku. Like, okay, you have Lukaku, we have Onana, zero balance, it's a straight swap. Okay, what we just need to figure out is how much we're going to pay Onana and for how long. I'll be happy for that deal. But I guess even if we want a straight swap, they'll still want Lukaku plus, Lukaku plus some extra fee, which I think is unreasonable, really. Come on, man. How difficult is it to find a keeper that is better than Kepa and Mendy in these days? No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm glad they're not. I'm glad the
No,
owners seem
it's not easy.
it seems like they've learned a lesson because we need to move away from that spending 100 million on this player, 100 million on that player. It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. And now we're not in the Champions League or Europe. They know now definitely they can't do that. But the problem is that we have this reputation of spending above and beyond for players. So we need to change that reputation if they want to start making money. Because from what I've heard about these owners, they want to buy young players and sell them on. Well, if you're going to do that, that means you can't then buy players for. Can you hear me?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can't afford to just buy players for crazy. Yeah. You can't buy players. Yeah, you can't buy players for crazy amounts of money and hope that you're going to make a profit on all of them. So they need to be quite shrewd in the business that we do. But we don't sell players for small fees. I mean, sorry, like the list of the big fees that we've commanded for players isn't that big. If you think about it, we sold Hazard for 150. And then after that, the list is quite weird. Like, there's not many big fees that we've sold players for. I think Oscar. How much was Oscar to China? I don't think it was that much. Then after that, I can't think of like 70, 80 million pound player sales that we've done. We normally sell players at 30, 40 million.
I think 80. I think it was 80.
Who's 80? Who do we sell for 80?
Couture. How much did Couture go for?
Yeah, maybe Couture. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But the thing is, Cruz. That's because we're not selling to big teams.
Oscar to China.
Yeah, but that's That's
No,
because
Oscar to China was 80, and I think it was 80.
yeah, but that's because we're not selling to big teams really. We can only make money if we're selling to big teams. Okay. And if you look at it, if you look at the players
Mm-hmm.
we had before, right? The if
Mm-hmm.
you look at the players that we had before, um, those are the only ones we can really sell to big teams. Those are the ones that actually other big teams came for. You know, Hazard and Couture. We
Mm-hmm.
didn't. The other players that big teams came for are actually close to 30. You know, the Giroud. You know, players were close to 30 or over 30, or players were not that really good. They were not like really high quality players. But the thing is, with we buying these young players now,
Yep.
okay, if we the chances of Chelsea selling to big
Mm-hmm.
teams is actually higher. Okay, so players like maybe Kai Havertz now is wanted by Arsenal and Real Madrid. Uh, Messi Mount wanted by Man United. Maybe what's it called? I heard Chaluba is in maybe Inter or AC Milan. So he's currently in Milan. They're saying he's checking it out. Maybe he will like it. Maybe he
Inter
will
Milan.
like. No, he's in Milan. Maybe he will like the
AC
city.
Milan. Mm-hmm.
Because I think maybe Inter or AC wanted.
Yeah.
Okay, and the reason why those teams want these players like Mount and Kayaba
Mm-hmm.
is because actually they're young. You get it? So we can only increase our chances of doing business with other big teams if we
Mm-hmm.
actually initially buy young players.
Mhm.
Okay, because if Chelsea go out and buy a 25-year-old, they're not going to sell him the following season. He's going to play for like 3-4 seasons.
But don't you think to move up the table, we still probably need some experienced players? Like for me right now, like everyone wants Caicedo and Rice. I think like they're like the two midfielders right now in the Prem that all the top teams want. And for me, I wouldn't mind. Again, I wouldn't mind if we get them. They're decent, good players. But I think the price is very very high. But for me right now, I just think with losing Kovacic potentially, you're losing Kante, you lost Jorginho, you might lose Ruben, whether he's good enough or not, he's still experienced. You're losing a lot of experience in the middle of the pitch. I just think at the moment you just need to go for like a proven player, a bit like when Man United got Casemiro. I think we should just go and get. I don't know. I heard Barcelona were interested in Kimmich, but I think someone like Kimmich would be perfect. Like 60, 70 million. Just go and get someone like that to build the team around. I'm a bit worried. Like if you go out and
But
get
Chris,
Rice,
The problem is, since it's Poch and this is no Champions League, no Premier League, we can kind of ride with the player we have right now. Maybe when we go back to the UCL, it's easier to attract big players when you're in the UCL because even if you offer them the money, other teams can come in like Madrid, Bayern, PSG, and offer them
but Man
times
United got
two of what
Casemiro
you're
when they
getting.
were in out of Europe as well, out of Champions League. I think did Casemiro not sign?
Exactly.
No,
But
no, no,
no
no.
other
So,
team will
so,
see. No other teams were after Casemiro. To remember, if there's another team that were after Casemiro, I think he will choose that team than United.
so this is what Cruz is saying. Cruz is saying um, he's a bit apprehensive because he's thinking it seems we're going to like fill the entire squad with very young
Mm-hmm.
players, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
that might actually affect the affect our performance and affect our results because we're not building around. He wants us to build around experience or have a few experienced players and then bring and surround them with all these young players or make the team a little bit diverse where it's not just like young players. But this is the interesting thing, right? That I was having a discussion with somebody. And but the thing is, if you look at it critically,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and if you look at it football wise, okay, Ajax is a top team. You get it? Most of the time, Ajax is actually 1, 2, or 3. Most of the time, Ajax is challenging
Mm-hmm.
for the Dutch league. But so how? So it makes it possible. You get it? Because most of the time, majority of the players in the Ajax team or in the Ajax squad are actually young players. Okay, so it means it's doable with young players. Okay, but the thing is, you just don't buy any young player. You buy young players with ability,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have to train them properly. So you have to get a very good coach who will coach them and develop them properly. So if you look at Ajax, you will see that Ajax, they just don't hire anybody to be the manager. They are, most of the time, they hire very, very good coaches to actually coach and develop them.
Yeah.
And Ajax is actually a top team in the Dutch league. And most of the time, Ajax has a high number of young players. So it means it's doable. That's number one. And then number two, if you look at Arsenal of last season, most of their players are young players.
Yeah.
Okay. But you will see, because they have Arteta, who is a good coach, it's not like they played drastically different from the previous year. They only played better than they played in the previous year. So out of good coaching, they were able to improve. And from there, they were able to deliver. So
yeah, I
agree.
I agree to an extent. But one of the big criticism, not big criticism, but one of the big talking points at the end of the season for Arsenal was the fact that they probably missed a bit of experience. Because if you remember, Partey was playing a lot of games, then he started to play bad, and then they brought in the Fabio Vieira. They brought in Fabio Vieira. He wasn't good enough, and then they brought Jorginho, and it seemed like Arteta didn't really trust. He didn't really trust Jorginho to the extent of playing him all the time. Even that game where he started Fabio Vieira instead of Jorginho. I can't remember what game it was.
Cruz, this is how the argument ends. Okay, the argument ends by when you build a team of young players, the trick is actually not to rely on those players, but can they deliver? They can deliver. Young players can deliver, but you cannot rely on them. And what that means is you're not going to buy a 20-year-old striker and say, give me 30 goals in one season. You're not going to rely on that, except you're Haaland. Okay? So what you do is, like, rather than get just one 20-year-old who has top ability, you get like two or three 20-year-old. So you don't have to rely on just one of them, but they will deliver, because if you push them properly, three of them will be able to share that responsibility over one season. You get the point now, Cruz?
Yeah.
So they're not reliable, but they can deliver. So it depends on your coaching and how you actually train them. So you need to have a top coach. Just don't put them together and rely on them. You cannot rely on 20, 21, 22 year. No, you can't rely on them. But can they deliver? They can deliver. You couldn't rely on Messi when he was 18 years old or 19 years old. But can he deliver? He could deliver. But you weren't expecting Messi at 19 to score you 50 goals. So you had to manage him properly. So it comes down to management and coaching, really. So what people are saying in terms of we are not playing Champions League, so we don't need a big squad. No. If you're going to use mainly young players, you actually need a big squad, because you cannot rely on a team squad of young players. You can rely on a team squad of experienced players, like the Lampards and the Drogbas and the Costas and the Hazards when you go to like 25, 26. Okay, you can rely on them all season. But when they were like 20, 21, you couldn't rely on them, but they could still deliver. So you have to get a high number of those young players. You have to get get a big squad if you want them to deliver consistently, but you cannot rely on them. So that's the difference between some of these experienced players and the young players. So it depends on management and the training. And the reason why Arsenal actually faltered last season was because they didn't have a striker. Okay, they had a striker, but they only won one. Just one striker could not do the business for you. They needed like 3, 4 strikers. So there was a period where is it Kante or
yeah, but that's exactly Nketiah. But that's a good example as well, because he had Nketiah on the bench, and there was times where Jesus, when he came back from his injury, he was playing okay, but he wasn't great. I think Jesus wasn't as good as he was before the injury. But Arteta didn't really trust Reece Nelson. He didn't really trust Eddie Nketiah. He didn't really trust them. And Arsenal fans, I remember them saying if they had an experienced striker off the bench, they were even thinking if we had someone like Giroud, so they could switch up the tactic, maybe cross the ball in a bit more, go direct. They didn't
Yeah.
have that. They didn't have that player. I just think sometimes I get what you mean, but I just think sometimes you need that player. And I think if we let Kante, Kovacic, Jorginho go, yeah, the manager is key in making sure that the young players perform. But that experience of having someone who in that midfield who can understand the game, understand, how to get through tough situations. I just feel like we're missing that. And Kimmich is, for me, it's Kimmich. And I don't think we're linked with Kimmich at all. I've only seen that Barca were mildly interested. I don't think we're linked with him at all. So obviously people might think, why are you talking about Kimmich? Kimmich is nowhere near coming to Chelsea. But the fact that a player like that could probably be available if you put maybe 60, 70, 80 million down, that's the type of midfielder I would like to blow that kind of money on, because then I know for a fact for the next, he's 28, he just turned 28. 5 years, that's you sorted. You're sorted for the next 5 years, and he can play right back, he can play centre back, he can play defensive midfield, and he's an experienced player. Been playing for Bayern Munich, Champions League football, won titles for the last 10 years. So I just think we're missing. I feel like we need to sign that experienced pro in the midfield to go with the youngsters, just to solidify, kind of like what Thiago done since he's been here. Because obviously he's going on now a bit. You need that. I feel like we just need that extra bit of quality. Yes, the young players who are up and coming are going to be, important to the success, but you still need to surround them with players that they can look at and understand how to win games, and understand how, when there's difficult moments, how to deal with it. I think that's one thing. Again, watching Arsenal again this season, there was moments in games where the tide was turning, and you could see you're looking around, and people were like, "Yo, what are we gonna do?" And it was Saka looking at Martinelli looking at Saliba looking at Ramsdale looking at Ben White. It's quite a young, inexperienced team, and I think where someone like Mudryk, for example, was struggling this season, just gone, and I'm thinking everyone's slandering him, everyone's saying he's crap. That's fine, but like, who can he look to coming to this new team in a new league? Like, who? If I was him, who am I looking at to say, how I'm supposed to be? What can I expect from this league? Who can mentor me? Who can tell me, don't run like that. Pick your runs. Maybe the first time you get the ball, you run at the defender. Maybe you don't run at the defender. Second time you don't run at the defender, and the third time you get it, boom, you go. Instead of, he looked a bit nervous. He didn't look like he knew when to do things. I'm thinking, who's coaching this young guy? Like, who's looking after him? Who's mentoring him? Who's coaching him? When we had those experienced players from years before, we knew straight away when a young player like Solomon Kalou comes into the dressing room, for a fact there's going to be a transition around him with the amount of experience that we had. We knew when we signed in all these young players over that kind of golden era, there was like little key moments or players that could transition that thing. For even Christensen coming into the team, you got people like Cahill, John Terry. These players are going to support that transition. But at the moment, if we lose a lot of that experience, and that's what people complained about when Jorginho left, they said he was big around the dressing room. He was same thing with David Luiz. He was big around the dressing room, good at coaching the players. Now, when I look at it, I think we've got a very big gap in leadership. Kepa is not a captain. He's not a leader. He needs to focus on his own game before he becomes number 2 vice captain or a leader in any capacity. Then you look at Aspilicueta, he's probably done. Maybe got one more year, but he's not playing. He's not on the pitch, so it's hard for him to lead. Thiago Silva's nearly 40. And then if you lose those midfield boys, then I'm looking around, I'm thinking there's not one other player I can think has that straight away leadership quality that we need in order to transition this whole process. You probably need just one or two, I think would be great.
I mean, to be honest, I kind of agree with you, but as you said, I agree with you in terms of we need a diverse squad, or the best option is always to have a diverse squad. But I'm more or less leaning to the side of diversity in terms of football ability, because it's very difficult to measure what you call experience sometimes. I'm not saying, I'm not advocating for 20 players that are between the age of 19 and 22. I don't think that can work. Okay, and I don't think anybody will. I don't think it's just reasonable. It's not reasonable to build a squad like that. I think it would be even difficult to build a squad like that if you want to really do something significant in a league. But you can build in where majority of the squad is like that. But then where I believe there has to be diversity in ability is, for example, okay, a player might be 22, but the experience they have might be different to another 22-year-old player. You get it? So, for example, Rhys James is like 22, 23, okay, but he's not just the average 22, 23 because he's played for England for X amount of years. He's played in the Premier League for Chelsea for like 3 years. He's won the Champions League. You get it? So he's not the average kind of 22-year-old player. Enzo, within 1 year, has played like in 3 different leagues and has gone to won the World Cup. And he was voted the best young player in the World Cup. So that's not a regular 22-year-old for you. You get what I mean? So in as much as I believe that there has to be diversity, you get it? I think we should focus more in terms of diversity of the ability. If it's diversity of experience and age, I think that's just normal. That's just normal. That's just how it's gonna be anyway.
Guys, I was having an internet problem, but I'm back.
Yeah, we just continue. We just continue to
Okay.
having a talk. So I think it should. I think it's very difficult to measure experience because a 21-year, 22-year-old experience player sometimes their experiences vary where you can equate a 22 years old's experience to some 25, 26, 27-year-old players.
I think,
You
I
know,
think leadership, like leadership is it's hard to say what that looks like because you can be a strong leader and an experienced leader by 23. You look at Phil Foden, I think he's
exactly.
won 5 Premier Leagues.
Exactly. So
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But generally, if we be in like generally or most of the time, like again, experience with leadership comes experience. Most people in like leadership positions in anything in life, it comes from them gaining experience at the job, then becoming a leader because they have experience at the job. Now they've become a leader. So like naturally, like a 28-year-old or 30-year-old is going to be a leader in the dressing room because at the highest level, by the way, because probably more than likely, if they're at, like for example, Bayern Munich, Joshua Kimmich at 28 or Muller, Thomas Muller at Bayern Munich, when 10 years ago he was playing Champions League final. He's 33 now, I think. 23, he was playing a Champions League final against us 2012, roughly 10 years ago. No, 10 years ago because they won it. They won it 2013.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So 10 years ago, he was playing at 23. And even by 23, he was in the first team before that for 5 years. So he's been in the first team for about 15 years. So like he's definitely like, understands what it was to be a leader at. At 21, he was probably a leader, or 23. By 23, he'd won his first Champions League, played in 2 or so finals. So, you're right, 100%. Leadership there's a gray area, like what quantifies a leader. But I think for our squad, if we narrow it down to our squad, I think it's quite glaring the fact that like our leadership. I think not many of those young players that have come in. When you look at like Madueke from PSG, Mudryk from Ukraine, I think he had minimal first team appearances. I think even Madueke in Mudryk, in Ukraine, I don't even think he played that many.
Well, cool. That's why. Sorry to cut. That's why it's important that to have a good coach who can nurture those young players and elevate their game. And I'm happy that Pochettino is the guy that can do that for them. That's what I'm saying. The ownership has done some weird stuff where we might not be happy with what they've done. And kind of me too, because I'm part of not kind of what they do. I'm not on board with what they do, but I can understand what they are doing in terms of buying this player, not spending too much. Because remember, on that movie, we spent tons of money on strikers. None of them was successful, apart from Costa and Drogba.
No, but
After
the
those
thing is,
two,
Abdullah,
none of them.
I think the thing is like the main criteria should be ability. Either you are 14, 15, 20, 19, 27, 28. If you're coming to Chelsea, then you should have the ability. The minimum criteria should be as the players got the ability. Then we start measuring like what sort of experience they have, because even Noni and Mudryk are different players now at this end of this season, just because they've played 6 months at Chelsea Football Club. For that 6 month experience they've had at Chelsea, they are already different players now in terms of experience. If what do you call it? If Noni was still at PSV, now if he had completed the season, you cannot compare that experience with him coming to Chelsea for that 6 months of for 6 months in this season with the Noni we will have had if he had just remained at PSV. So even that alone gives them a different experience. So it's difficult to measure experience sometimes, okay? But the first thing should be ability. Do they have the ability? If they don't have the ability, that's where the problem is. But if they have the ability, okay, with them playing for Chelsea Football Club, that experience will come anyway, okay? And they would grow into it. But I do understand that you still need some elements within the squad that have experience, that has senior pros. You still need senior pros, because anybody can have experience, but you still need senior pros.
Fair enough.
So, and we cannot just have a squad that is just full of 22-year-old team. That is why I advocate that we should still keep people like Aspi, Thiago Silva. At least they should be, if not maybe like 25% of the entire squad should be senior pros. I think it will be very difficult for us to get away if we don't have like 25% of the team not being senior professionals, and we think we can compete at the highest level. I think it will be very difficult I think in that case, then we might not get anything in return in terms of trophies or anything like that for the next 3-4 years.
I agree. I agree with you in a sense, but I just think basically because it was the main point, because we're talking about Caicedo and
we're gonna talk about him soon, because I want us to handle this. Yeah.
And I was saying basically like he cost roughly about 80-90 million, and I'm basically just looking at it thinking I've lost a lot in midfield, right? We spent a lot on Enzo, a young player, and then now to go and spend another 90 million on another 21-year-old. I'm just thinking, if you could maybe, like I said, I don't think Kimmich is available. Just for argument's sake, say he was available for 60, 70, 75 million pounds, 80 million euros, whatever. Bayern would look at that and think, okay, they might not sell him for that, but they'll be thinking, because I think Barca were mildly interested. I think that's a better signing for the next 5 years than buying Caicedo and gambling on 80 million on relatively 1 or 2 seasons unproven player. Because I don't think we're going to make that money back. I genuinely don't think in a few years' time Caicedo will leave Chelsea for 100-something million. I don't think that will happen. But Kimmich is guaranteed to shore up that midfield for the next 4 or 5 years, and you can build around that platform of having an elite top European midfielder, and then we could go from there instead of trying to like put Enzo next to Caicedo and be like, okay, go and get us the title or go and get us top 4. Like, we haven't got that foundation the foundation isn't there to build off, is what I'm saying.
I think that will be very difficult. First of all, in the last stream, I said I'm not convinced if a Caicedo for 70 million. I'm not convinced.
We'll get to Moses Caicedo. We'll get there.
No, we're not talking about him now. We're just talking about the permutation of the players in midfield. So I think it will be very difficult to have just a midfield of Enzo, Caicedo, another 20-year-old,
Conor
25
Gallagher.
years old. I think it will be very difficult for us to make an impact. So I still think if we are going to be relying on, let's say, 5 midfielders for the entire season, okay, at least I think we should have 2 out of those 5 being senior professionals, being senior midfielders, even if they're not going to be playing or starting all the time. I think 2 of those 5 should be senior professionals. So I'm not saying experience now, I'm saying senior. So players who are maybe like 26 above. Okay.
Yeah,
I think that will be reasonable, but the thing is, I mean, like, if we can't do that, then the coaching and the management has to be very elite.
Give me what name would you want? Those that 26-year-old. What would be the name? 26, 27-year-old.
I like Sekou Fofana. who is the captain of Lens. Seko Fuma is an attacking box-to-box midfielder. He's very experienced. He's played in, I think he was in Man City Academy, and then he played for X amount of years in the Italian league, and then he played for Lens, and Lens finished, did they finish second or third last season?
Definitely second. Definitely second.
He's a very experienced, and he's their captain. But I think he's 28 or 29. A midfielder like that, I would like him to be, even if we don't want him to play, if we don't expect him to play 40 games in the season, but I think a midfielder like that will be so. We should have a midfielder like that in the mix, even if majority of the players we have in midfield are going to be young midfielders. So if we're going to be going into the season with 5 midfielders, we should have at least 2 senior midfielders.
But I get what you say. But let me come to Blue Eyes on the Blue Eyes. Your guy Dora the Explorer potentially gonna move to Manchester City.
Yeah.
Maybe possibly next week or next 2 weeks when we move to Man City. Then Chelsea has pulled out of Andy Onana's deal. You think?
Big up.
Yeah. Hey, Cruz, big up, everyone. Yo, listen. First things first, though. I want to talk about Nicholas Jackson.
We'll get there. It's gonna be after.
Okay. Sorry. Aye.
We'll get the Blue Eyes. We'll get there.
Yo.
We'll get there.
Football is not dead. Football is not dead.
We'll get there. My Chelsea
I'm
might be
getting
back.
excited off YouTube clips. That's why I'm scared. I'm getting excited off YouTube clips. But man, we've needed that profile of a player.
Senegalese international.
I thought he's Ghanaian.
No, Senegal. He played
Senegal.
Actually, he has the frame of a Senegalese, man. Yo, you see that 6'2", 6'3" single boat. That's the profile we need at Chelsea.
No, but Blue Eyes, you can go to that platform and watch a complete game now.
Okay. Now, saying that laziness, my brother. You know that habit of, if you didn't see it live, you won't watch it again. That Niger habit.
But Blue Eyes, wait.
Yeah.
Mateo Kovacic to join Manchester City as Gundogan is potentially gonna leave, and Onana will pull out of Onana.
Listen, man, that's a mix of emotions for me with Mateo Kovacic. Why? Because I don't rate him for any reason. However, if a club that just won the treble has come in and submitted a 40 million bid.
Yep.
Listen, anybody who's complaining about Todd Boehly should go and check themselves in the mirror. This guy is still able to squeeze out 40 million on a player that has 2 left feet. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We paid 40 million for him.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, Blue Eyes.
Yeah.
I can't believe we could get that kind of deal.
We paid 40 million for those of you who have forgotten. So net zero.
40 million for him, yeah.
Net zero. This deal. This is actually brilliant on the part of our management.
After playing for us for like 4 seasons,
imagine after that depreciation, because that's a depreciation factor. He came in at 24,
and he's injury prone now as well.
Yeah, and left at 30, 31, and we're still able to milk the same value. So listen, I don't for me, I don't rate the guy. You guys know, no matter what, I don't rate Kova. Even for Croatia, I don't. It doesn't matter what I've watched him. I've seen him in different positions. I've seen him play with different pros. I still don't rate him. He's not. You see this boy that we're looking at, Nico Jackson. That's an 8. See, that's the agility I'm talking about. But anyways, Nico Jackson still needs to prove himself. And then the other one is what were you talking about?
Onana. Chelsea put out
what's
Onana.
his name?
Andy Onana.
Onana, yeah.
Because you know what Inter Milan?
So if we
Inter are playing balls with us because they want Lukaku with a discount and Koulibaly also too. Why Chelsea say they want to sell Lukaku permanently out of the club because they need to make money. So Inter and Chelsea, they want discount for Chelsea for Lukaku. Why Chelsea said no. Either you get a loan with obligation, not option. Obligation, not option. So Inter doesn't have that money, but a new conversation will come in next week. So for Onana, Inter Milan, I don't know what happened in the last 24 hours. United want to buy Onana because they didn't renew the Jet contract. The J is out of contract. So Inter Milan moved from 40 million to 70 million for Andre Onana. Chelsea pulled out.
Yeah, and you don't blame us. We've come from a very tough place. PTSD. Sorry for lack of a better way to put it. We paid almost how much for Kepa, and look at where we are.
80 million.
Yeah, and look at where we are. So now we're going to be very meticulous. We're going to be very calculated, and we're going to try to get it right this time around when it comes to a goalkeeper, especially when it comes to funding, because I think we've come to realize that in that goalkeeping role, if sometimes you pay 10 million and you find a gem.
Yeah, good.
Sometimes you pay small money and you find a gem. So listen, with Onana obviously he's proven. He's a classic goalkeeper. It would have been nice if we got him, but I mean, if the number is not right, man, we can't. Come on, man. We're so backlogged.
I'm just worried that we're gonna keep that a lot at the goalkeeper. That's my worry.
No, but the thing is, listen, we're backlogged in that goalkeeping role. We're so backlogged in there. We got Kepa, with Mendy. We haven't offloaded people. And
No, Mendy is going to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, how do we know? Is it going to happen?
No, there's a deal. Yeah, potential Saudi Arabia offered him a 30 million a year.
Al Ali, right? Al Ali.
Al Ali, yes.
So, hey, man, if we miss out on Onana, it's a tough one, but I think we'll be okay, man. I'm not really worried about the goalkeeping role. I'm not worried about goalkeeping role. You know why? Because if we can put together a shrewd defense, not with this Fofana boy from Leicester.
Yes.
Not with anyways.
Relax.
Yo.
Yeah. Cruz, my brother. No, we're not doing this with Fofana, man.
Not today.
Sorry, man.
Shocking. Absolutely shocking.
Unless he moves to right wing, right back. That
because Blues, what makes me happy is because the goalkeeper I rated after I think Thibaut Courtois, I read Alisson too. I read Ramsey a little bit, or something. Ramsey kind of annoying me a little bit, but I rate highly Courtois, Alisson Becker of Liverpool, and the goalkeeper I rate very highly, which in the last few days we have been keeping an eye on it, and I think it did my go to next week. We have to test their service. AC Milan goalkeeper Maignan.
I beg you. All these things overhyped, man.
I rate him very highly. I do.
Mike, it's easy to rate all these guys.
I rate this. He's a very damn good goalkeeper. I rate him very highly.
Yeah.
Very
highly. Of course, he's fantastic. He's very good, man. But again, the thing about that goalkeeping role, right, is are you bringing in someone for the future or are you bringing in a made person? Now, the reason I ask this question is, where is Chelsea?
I love that question.
Where is the pain for Chelsea? Where is the pain for Chelsea in the goalkeeping role? Are we looking to develop a goalkeeper, or are we looking for someone who will just come in like what's his name, De Gea? Let's say we go bring. You remember when Arsenal went and brought in Czech? What is the move now? Are we bringing in a project? Sorry,
I will take that. 100%.
Well, there you go. That means you want to win right now. So
yeah.
Who's saying that means they want to. Yeah,
we need
exactly.
To get back in
that means you want to win right now. Yeah.
But Blues, if Chelsea are going for Maignan, that tells me they want to win now, because this man is a top goalkeeper. I will even prefer him than Andy Onana for me. He's a top goalkeeper. Very good.
Yeah, he's good. He's not bad.
Cruz, your take, Maignan.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I've seen him play a few times. He's a good goalkeeper, but I don't know, man. I didn't watch him much last season. I watched him a couple of seasons ago, and he looked like a decent keeper. He wasn't far off of like Mendy. He wasn't far off.
I know he's better than Mendy. He's better.
I mean, yeah,
he's better than Mendy. Maignan, very good goalkeeper. Because when we talk about goalkeeper, you can command your area. You have a leadership skills. Your defender can trust you, in which Chelsea defender are having with Kepa. They don't trust him. Maignan will be that trust.
We can't go back into the next season. Listen, we cannot go back into next season with the same two keepers that we have. No. It's impossible. But how much would this guy cost? He'd cost 60, 70 million as well.
No,
No,
because AC Milan have relieved their legend in what's his name, Paolo Maldini, the sporting director from the job. So
Yeah.
majority of the players are pulling out of their contract. They don't want to win. They want to move away. So Maignan is the first one that wants to move away. So Chelsea already put in a potential deal. Who's gonna go through next week to test AC Milan resolve in bringing him to Stamford Bridge?
How much?
I think I'm hearing 60, 65.
No. I'm done with. No, it's too much. It's too much.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
It's too much, man.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
It's
I've
too
seen
much.
this guy. I've seen this guy concede goals. So,
How old is this guy?
27. He's 27. He just closed 27 this year.
So,
Oh,
but the thing is, Abdullah, where can we find the 22-year-old Courtois, 22-year-old Peter Cech, 22-year-old, them kind of keepers? Don't they exist anymore?
Slonina
is 18. Slonina is 18.
Slonina is 18. Even Donnarumma when he was like 22. I mean, Donnarumma I think is just 22 or 23 now.
He's 22 years.
Yeah, where can we find these keepers? Must we go on?
There's one in FC Porto, Diego Costa, that came to the World Cup. He's 22 years of age. So I don't know.
No, that's 20. That's like 24 now or 25.
It's 22, 23. We don't know.
No, check him. Let me check.
Let me see.
I don't think it's 22.
Let me see.
24.
Costa.
What about Man City's backup keeper? He looks decent, man. I'm not gonna lie. He can play as well.
I only like one. The one guy I like is just got relegated.
Abdul, it's 23. It's 23.
What?
It's 23.
Oh, the young guy.
Yeah, that
the
is
young
good.
guy
I like
from-
Bazunu.
I like Bazunu. That's my guy, man.
Bazunu,
When he got
yeah.
relegated, I was gonna vouch for him this
Said
summer and sell his story. but
Porto.
Keyman.
The Porto keeper.
Maignan.
No, hold on, Abdullah. The Porto keeper is only 23. This is the kind of guy we should be going for.
He's 23, but
Because
Abdul, he has a release clause of 75. He has a release clause.
Hold on. Is Portuguese number one?
No. No. Now it's been changed. Ever since the Belgium goalkeeper, the Belgium manager that come, Roberto Martinez took over, it's been given to the Porto goalkeeper, the Roman number one. Real Patricio is the number one now.
Who is that one?
The Roman goalkeeper.
The Roman keeper.
Mm-hmm.
How old is the Roman keeper?
It's 31, 30.
Oh, okay. Maybe so he's given him because of. Oh, come on, man. You can't say he's now. That would have been maybe only in one game or two games now.
No, it's been ever since the manager comes in, he's been playing.
Yeah, but when did the manager come? The manager just came like, when?
He came in after the World Cup.
After the World Cup, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, yeah. But this is the kind of keeper we should go for.
Exactly.
This guy is only 23, and he's a great keeper. And we are looking for players.
Abdul, I get what you said, but for me, I prefer Maignan for me though, because there's a trait I like in Mag for me. But everybody have a preference.
I think this Maignan is a bit of hype, man. To be honest with you.
Okay, man.
I still prefer Onana to Maignan.
Big Mike.
Assalamu alaikum, how's everyone doing?
Yeah,
guys.
Big up.
What's up, Mr. Blue Eyes? How are you, my guy? How are you? Huh? And this also.
Kima, my brother, we thank God. Kima, we thank God, my brother.
Big up, bro. Big up.
We're here, man. Every day. Listen, all right. So, guys, this I believe we've been linked to. I think four keepers that would know mostly is Onana, Mike, that guy Mamash Davi. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Yeah, it's from Valencia. Yeah, Giogi Mamash Davi. Yeah, Mamash Davi, the Valencia goalkeeper.
Yeah, that guy. And I think between Emmy and this Brentford guy. So listen, the two most likely guys is between Mike and Onana. And one of the reasons I watched that semi-final in Champions League.
We put out of Onana. We have put out of Onana.
Because Inter are jokers. Inter are just clowns. How do you come for 3 players alone and then you tell us 70 million, leave them alone? Now, when you talk about Onana and Mike, these two keepers, it depends on how you want to play. Personally, I see them like okay, I compare them the way people compare Edison and Alisson. Mike is a better keeper, but Onana, he can do that play out from the back. The guy is, I have never seen a keeper do what that guy does. He can just give you a low pass from anywhere.
Sorry.
I see.
The Valencia keeper is only 22. So
Yes, it's 22 now.
22.
now I know why we're going for him.
Mhm.
He's just 22.
No, now, there's something that Blue Eyes said, and I really agree with. He said, "Are we going for a keeper that we want to win now?" Because I personally do not believe that you can nurture a young talent anymore, especially in a keeper position nowadays. We don't have time for that. We need to win right now. Uh, Listen, the starting price of Mike is 60, right? But
Yeah,
again,
60, 65, yeah.
again, when I look at high fees for keepers, I just get this Kepa nonsense has really given me PTSD, man. One thing I really fear is getting this guy Mike. Wait, how tall is he? He's 6'3", right?
Ah,
How tall is he?
I think 60, 60, 60, 60, 64, something like that, maybe.
Six foot
Let
four.
me check.
Wait, and how tall is Onana? How tall is Onana?
Let me check. Let me
I know
check.
he's taller than Onana, right? Onana is
Continue
six
talking.
6'1" or 6'2".
Let me check. Let me check.
Listen, we
Keep
it's
talking.
not today that we started seeing height in the goalpost. Edward Mendy is 6'7". So
No, I'm not complaining about that. I'm not complaining about that.
no.
But
I'm
no,
saying that height. It looks like we don't. It's not even height that will solve our problem because Edward Mendy is even tall and he was considered like a
no, no,
basket.
1.9
no, no, no,
millimeter
no.
height.
No, like
1.9
like
millimeter.
1.9, so
How do, how
6'3",
do you measure that?
6'3",
1.9 millimeter.
190 centimeters. That's like 6'2", 6'3", maybe 6'4", around that. So
That's
now
tall.
the reason
That's
why
tall. That's tall for goal.
191. 191.
I'm 193. I'm 193. So the thing is, uh, it depends on the type of keeper you want. I personally believe that tall keepers cannot put the ball on the feet. How does Poch want to play? If you want, listen. Nowadays, like I think Cruz brought this up, that De Gea is also on the market. Nowadays, people like goalkeepers are being butchered for not being able to play from the back, which is it's the modern game now. That's what it is. But let's not forget the entire point of a goalkeeper. You're a shot stopper. That's your main job. It's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Where do we want to go? If we bring Onana, I think we can play some very possessive football. If we bring Mike Maignan, it's more of like a statement saying we have a solid defense. I think we have a solid defense, and I want to see before we sign this keeper. I think we need to see how this guy wants to play. That's the best option for me personally. 60
Fair
million,
enough. Mhm.
60 million. I listen, man. If it means I win now, I'll take it. I don't mind. I'll take it. But I wonder what happened to the Emmy Martinez links. I really like those links. I want to go
No
back to those
comment. No,
links.
no comment. No comment. Please, no comment.
No, Abdullah, because we have said this before on multiple streams, right?
Mm-hmm.
That in a keeper position, you need personality. You need that dominating like guy that comes in and controls his
That
area. That's
tall,
what we need.
tall, lanky,
Big,
fearsome
tall,
goalkeeper.
lanky, that fearsome that gets into players' heads. That's what we need. But
That madman.
Mike,
We need a
Mike,
madman. You don't have a madman.
I want to put a question out to the panel, right? Those
Mm-hmm.
two goals that AC Milan conceded. Do you think Mike could have done a better job at that Mkhitaryan shot? What do you guys think about
Yeah,
that?
yes, but I also think the defense is a little bit quack.
Yes,
Tomori
yes,
and
yes, yes.
whatever their name is.
But for
See,
me,
this
for
is
me,
me talking
Abdullah,
about because Kima, this is me talking because people have been asking that question a lot on Twitter. Who do I go for between Mark Mayan and Andy Onana? And as I'm gonna stick with, I said it for a very long time. I'm going with Big Mike because what I'm getting from Mike, I don't get it from Onana. What I'm getting from Onana, I cannot get it from Mike. In Onana
exactly,
can play
Abdullah.
from the back. Wait.
Abdullah,
Onana
that's
can
why.
play from the back, and it can also help in terms of ball on the feet. Very good commanding his area to where you can trust him. But sometimes Onana has an hot head where I have an issue with that. He has an hot head
The World
where
Cup.
he can lose his brain in a split
Mhm,
second. Where sometimes a goalkeeper you need to calm down. Where I believe
mhm,
Mike doesn't have because Mike is very tall. Mike also can play from the back too, but Mike give me this trust as a defender, being a defender where I know okay, I have a very tall goalkeeper where I have no issues in terms of commanding my areas, coming out to punch to catch the balls, directing
mhm,
defenders, telling them the positioning. That's the job of Mike. He can do that very well than Andy Onana
mhm.
for me. That's the difference I see
You
between both
see,
of them
you
for
see,
me.
you see, Abdullah. Now that is why I said I look at these two the way people look at Edison and Allison.
Mm-hmm.
Mike is a far more rounded goalkeeper.
Mm-hmm.
Onana, if he's exposed, the guy can make some very silly mistakes. Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But now it depends. What kind of system do we have in place? Because if our team is lacking, I think we're going to expose this Onana guy. But I have more faith in Mike. But
Fair enough.
it's a very weird path to go under. I'm still I still think that we should not be rash. It's only been I think 4 days since the transfer window is open.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, we need to assess this team. We need to understand firstly Kepa and Mendy. I know Mendy is leaving, but Kepa, is he going to stay? I don't know. That's another argument for another day. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, man, it's very interesting, Abdullah. But I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind. I'm open to it.
Kenny, Big Mike, Uh, Mr. Kenny, Mike McMahon, Mark Mayan. Kenny, are you there? I think Kenny is muted. I'll come back to Kenny later. Kenny, you there now? Kenny, 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 4 4 4. Test microphone. I think Kenny is muted. Tosin, how you there? Shout out to you, brother. Big up, big up, big up. To Saino, I agree
Yo, what's
to.
good? What's good, bro? What's
So
good? How
the
you
big,
living?
I know, I told you, I know you rate him. I know you rate this guy very highly, very.
Big
So
up, big
we
up.
are looking to get him because
Yo, Blue
um,
Eyes, what's good?
I'm
what's
good,
his
bro. How
name?
you doing, bro?
You still
Paolo
reeling
Maldini.
from Dade
Paolo
County?
Maldini
Yo,
has been
man.
leaving
I'm sick and
because Paolo
tired of that
Maldini
place.
has been sacked by AC Milan, director of football for AC Milan. So Mark Mayan is already thinking about his future. So Chelsea has already launched an official bid for AC Milan for Mark Mayan to come into Stamford Bridge. So give me your take, brother.
Um, yeah, I mean, it would be a good signing for you guys. But do you guys know that you guys had top three defensive records in the Prem this season?
Yes, I know. That's why I said, Tosin, this I'm saying,
So
mm-hmm, go ahead.
is it really a need? Like,
Yes, you know why?
Preach, preach.
Okay, but Tosin, this is me talking now because Kepa, I have an issue. I'm gonna have an eyebrow pleasure with Kepa. I'll have a BP with Kepa. I'm gonna have
Abdullah,
a
are we going to
but he
discuss
but he
Kepa?
but but he played
Are we
well,
going to
did he
discuss
not?
him?
Didn't
no,
he
no, no.
play
I'm
well
gonna
a
have
bit?
a BP with Kepa.
Wait,
Long
Abdullah,
shot,
are we going to discuss Kepa?
long
Are we
shot
going to discuss
commanding
Kepa
your
and Mendy?
area. Yes, with long shot and commanding your area. Kepa doesn't have it. Magmayan and Andrew Onana has it, but we pulled out of Onana. We've pulled out. So we are going for Magmayan and the Valencia goalkeeper. So if I have to choose, I'm going for Big Mike. That's me. What do
Who's the
you
Valencia goalkeeper?
what's his name? I've forgotten his name.
Mohamed
Georgie,
Davi. Whatever that guy
Georgie,
name.
Mamas Davi. Mamas
Yeah,
Davi.
never heard of him.
Me too. I think it's from Georgia though. But we'll see though. Kenny, are you there? Kenny, are you there?
Wait.
Kenny, are you there? I think Kenny is
I
muted.
think he's having some mic issues. Yeah.
Oh,
Abdullah,
okay,
can we
okay.
quickly touch on Kepa and Mendy? We quickly touch on them.
Wait.
No, Mendy.
This is a little bit of a random question.
Mhm.
Keyman, why do you have a
But
Montalivo Avi? Like, what's the idea behind that?
because that's a very good question, right? Now, growing up, I loved Montalivo. I just loved the way he played. And
What
recently
a player.
seeing these
Yeah,
What
he
a
wow,
was a
player.
What
what
baller.
a
He
a
was a
player,
player.
man!
baller.
What
What a
a
Like
player.
player.
like if
I
you
like him. I
ice,
like him
if
very
you
well.
want ice, blue ice, this guy is ice in the midfield. So calm, so collected. My
Oh,
God.
oh,
Twi-
oh, what a player.
TikTok, and social media would not be able to handle this guy if he was here. He was here right now.
Hmm.
God damn it.
Oh, can
This
you
guy
hear
made
me?
me love the midfield. Now,
Good
Yes, yes.
quality
Tosin,
player.
Cool.
Your question. The reason why I put him as my AV is because bum-ass AC Milan somehow scammed their way to a semi-final. And looking at my boy, never got that chance playing with some idiots like fucking Gege and these dickheads. So, man, it's a shout out to him.
Montolivo, damn, decent player. Bro.
I just want to say something about AVs before Kenny goes. Sorry, Kenny. Speaking
No,
of
yeah, go.
AVs, Tosin, you
Mm-hmm.
see this your AV is one of the craziest games. I don't know who watched this game. This
Yeah,
game
98.
was
Yeah.
one of the craziest games that Zizou. This game, ladies and gentlemen, this game.
I was just, I remember, I was,
And wait, you guys know that guy besides Zizou?
I was a lot of it.
Let me look at this guy close.
Isn't that Dunga?
No, it's
I
not
can't see
Dunga.
him doing this. Who is it?
No, that's not
I
Dunga.
can't see.
That's Leonardo Araujo.
Let me
So
see.
Kenny,
Oh, the PSG.
quick take.
Oh
Mag-
yeah. Go ahead, Kenny. Sorry, go ahead.
So Kenny, quick take. Maignan.
Yeah, but I'm not. He's a good goalkeeper, but I don't know. The price for me is too much. And I said that.
60-65. That's what Chelsea are looking into.
Pound,
Nah,
right? Or euro?
I don't think Milan are going to sell him for that price. That's the issue. Because the guy's been there for like.
But
1 year,
I
2
think
years.
Milan because Paolo Maldini left. Paolo Maldini was the sporting director, so they sacked Paolo
Yeah, I know,
Maldini.
yeah.
So now it's giving most of the players a big problem in terms of contract renewal, signing for the club. So there's an issue with that because Maldini is director of football and they let go of him. So the players
Wait,
are
Abdullah,
having a
wait.
little bit of skepticalism in terms of
Kenny, how long has he been at AC?
I think 2 years.
Milan, how long has he been? 2 years. My God, man. My God,
2 years,
man.
not 2 years.
Yeah, I think 2 years. He left low. Yeah, 2 years ago. Yeah, that's what he left.
Is that
He was the replacement for.
proven path? Like, do we still believe in Prem proven? Or what?
Yeah, it was the
No, it's
replacement for.
the
No, honestly,
replacement for
Donnarumma. Well, yeah, no, the
Yeah.
thing is that I don't know how many years he has left, but because I know they had some issue, but Liao resigned before they sacked him, but he signed already, so it's too late. And I think Maignan he signed 2 years, so he probably has minimum two years left. So if we want to buy him right now,
Yeah.
and they know, Milan probably knows that we're gonna need a goalkeeper, like we might need a goalkeeper. And for me, 65, I think they're gonna reject. And I think the guy said that. Honestly,
What?
if I was him, they're
Reject
probably gonna.
65?
Of course, and if you're a club and you see Chelsea's coming for you with a goalkeeper, you know you can finesse because you already saw what we bought Kepa for. So honestly, I don't think right now we should.
No club is putting
Kenny.
over 50 million for Maignan. I think
No,
that's
no,
his
no.
max
What?
value. So if you came
This is probably.
Kenny, that's a very
Yeah.
good point, Kenny, right? And this is why I
50
say.
million for man, yeah.
No, Blue Eyes, 1 second. And this is why I say, how fast do we want to get rid of Mendy and Kepa? Because if we disable ourselves and the market sees that we are desperate, these guys are going to come and try and bite. Let's be honest.
That's what happened with Kepa because we sold Courtois, we
Exactly.
were desperate, and club knew we were desperate, and then we had to go. We
And
had
they
to go
knew
and
we
buy
had money
Kepa.
to
Right?
spend.
Yeah, but that's why these deals, when you do these deals, you make sure that you see there's two parts to the deal. There's buying new, making new acquisitions, and then there's a decongestion factor. Decongestion factor meaning letting go of old resources, right? So again, if on the scouting strategy, if your scouting is shrewd and you already have people in place, you can go ahead and let go Kepa and Mendy and actually call their bluff.
Actually, Blue Eyes, I want to put this question on Tano, right? I believe that we signed Slovenia and like since I know he's American, how much promise did the ownership give him, telling him, listen, we will give you time, we believe in you and whatnot. Because right now I believe that the ownership could look and say, listen, we already have a number 2. Let's go try and get a number 1, or maybe pair him up with Kepa. That's what I'm thinking.
No, but the thing is, Lolina is still young, and I think last year did he
19,
because
right? I think he's 19.
Yeah.
He's 19.
I think they're probably gonna loan him.
He needs a Courtois loan.
Yeah, they're probably gonna loan him. Yeah, and the thing is that honestly, I think
loan who?
Slovenia.
Gabriel Slovenia.
Oh, okay.
But
I don't know that.
Is a young goalkeeper we bought from it was Chicago or something.
Oh, the MLS, that MLS player you were linked with. Oh, okay.
Let me
quickly on the menu for the price. For me, I wouldn't go more than 50, 60. And the thing is that we already saw what Inter asked for Onana. So if Inter is rejecting that for Onana, you already know that Milan are seeing that. Probably they think.
Wait.
Maignan is
how much was rejected for Onana?
No, I think they said that when they had conversation, they
70
talked about like 50 and then they rejected. They want way more. Yeah?
No, 70
Nah,
was
these,
70.
these keepers are
Yeah, so
overpriced, man.
yeah,
My
they're
God.
overpriced. That's what I'm saying because and the thing is that right now is there's a lack of like great goalkeeper. When you seen that Brentford won like 40 for David Raya, like this is no way. So
Oh,
honestly, right now, I
There's
won't.
always been scarcity of goalkeepers, though, Kenny.
That's
Always.
true. That's
Yeah.
true. That's true. But the thing is that
So,
I
so
would,
Kenny,
I
but
would
then,
probably, yeah.
yeah, continue,
I
Kenny.
would,
Sorry, continue.
for me, there's bigger issues than the goalkeeper right now. So I would probably keep
Exactly.
Kepa for one more. I would probably keep Kepa for one more season.
Thank
Obviously,
you.
he's made
Thank
some
you.
mistake, but if you look overall last season, it wasn't
Kenny,
as bad as. No, but
Kenny,
it's
I'm
true.
not doing
No,
that.
Abdullah, no, he's
I'm
No,
right.
gonna have an
Abdullah, we
high
can have
blood
a
pressure.
discussion. We can have a discussion.
no. If you look overall last season, there was some games where I remember the Aston Villa game where he saved. He had a great game. Yeah.
Save the
But
season.
obviously,
Save the season, brother.
I don't think
Save
that
the
it's going to
season,
be
brother.
our number one in the future. But right now, I don't see a
I
goal.
beg you don't do it.
Right now, I don't see a goalkeeper that we can go and buy for like a 40 or 50 mil that is going to come in and
I
that'll be
beg, I
scoring.
beg, I beg. I'm
Abdullah,
gonna have a
Just
high
keep him.
Abdullah, what do you call him again?
if I reserve
Abdullah, what do you
Alaba
call
as
him
number
again?
one next season, I will have blood
No, but
Abdullah,
pressure.
what do you call him?
I will have
What do you
blood
call him again?
no, but for me, well, won't we
a
like the
lot,
third
a
or
lot,
fourth?
a lot,
Won't we like the
a
won't we
lot,
like the
a
third or
lot.
no no
If
no no
a
no.
lot is
If
our number one, I'm having a blood pressure next.
no. If you actually look at his stats compared to, because there was the 2 seasons ago where he was like the worst goalkeeper. Last season he was actually decent. Yeah. But the thing is that for me, what
Fair
we
enough.
need more is probably is the midfield and the attack. So that's the most important.
Attack,
Goalkeeper from
especially.
yeah. So from because this Jackson guy we bought for me he's not even a striker. People are saying he's a striker. He's played the last 6 months as a striker, but the guy is like more of a winger slash striker can play. I want a proper striker. I don't want a guy that is like he can play striker sometimes. Yeah. But the thing is that right now the keepers, the price they're asking for me is way too much, and
Blue eyes. I'll come to
we need
you
to
on
fix other
this.
parts first.
No. Kenny, the guy is a striker, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's a striker.
No, no,
Go and
you
dig
Blue
his.
Have
eyes.
we discussed this,
That
guys?
he
no.
has a blood
Last
Have we
pressure of
have we
35
You
discussed
guys,
million.
all these players
Our
you guys are
African people.
buying, Datro Fafana,
No,
Nicholas. You guys are just trying. You guys are trying to look
right.
for your Drogba replacement so bad. It's so sad,
no,
man.
this?
I feel
no. You
for
see
you guys.
the Jackson guy. The last 6 months he played striker at Villarreal, but if you look before that and the guy usually played as a winger. He didn't play as a like striker. It's just the
Blue
past
eyes.
6 months where
I think
On
it's
the
more
on
of
the
an
left or
inside
right?
forward.
On the left or right? On the
yeah he
left or
played.
right?
Yeah, it's just the
No,
past
no,
six
no,
months where
on,
he really
on
started performing.
Hold on.
Is
Hold
he?
on,
Does he
go
play
Abdullah.
on
and
the
dig
left
up.
or on the right?
I think
Go and dig up.
it's more of an inside forward.
No, go and dig
Yeah,
up.
forward.
Go and
He's
dig.
more than
No, go and dig up his the games he's played for Valencia. Go and dig up
no
his
Villarreal. No,
19s.
I said no. I said the last 6 months where he's really blown up and he's had like his good form. Yeah, he's played as a striker, but I'm saying before that, if you look at his game, he was playing more as an inside forward, like off the left. But the last 6 months where he's really
Yeah.
performed, he's done well as striker.
No. It's more or less like saying what's his name? His big brother at Senegal. What's his name? Is it Mane?
Mane,
Yeah, it's like
yeah.
saying Mane is not a striker. We know Mane is a striker, but you can still play him next to a
Uh,
striker. Okay, so
yeah, but
maybe somebody was trying to. No, what I'm trying to say is maybe somebody was trying to develop him because he's still 2021 or so he's still developing.
yeah,
So maybe
21.
somebody was trying to develop him and thought like, okay,
but
we don't want to give him that responsibility. But this
yeah,
guy is,
but,
to me, this guy is good. He's a striker,
but
but he's not as good as Kudus. But he has that kind of style of play. But
but you see, even when he
it's
played
not
striker,
as
he played with
go ahead.
another striker next to him as well. He played with like Gerard Morin. I don't see him as like a. For me, if we buy him, we still need a proper striker. I need a.
No, but
He's a
we're not
decent
going to
player.
rely.
But,
We're not
hold
going to
on,
rely
because
on a
I want everybody to
21-year-old
talk.
striker
Right? I want
Look,
the
man,
everybody
you
entire
to talk
guys,
on
you
season.
this.
guys. I'm just predict set next season.
Guys,
You
hold on,
guys are not
hold
going to
on.
play with a striker next season. Your striker will be Christoph and Kunku all season,
Yeah, I think he's.
and he's
I think he's going to
and
be
he's
him
going to
and
be,
Chris.
and you guys will be pleasantly surprised by how good he is.
Guys,
No,
because I want everybody to speak. Blue eyes, our African brother, Senegalese vixens. So Nicola Jackson, a release of 35 million, will be triggered. So by next week, everything should be concluded and done. Potentially a new Chelsea coming to the blood. the way I look at him is more of an inside forward for me, not an actual out and out number 9. But he looks like an inside forward for me. I love what I see in him.
Abdullah,
You always
stop,
said it. Hold on.
stop, Abdullah. You
He
guys
looked
have
like an inside
to.
forward. He
No.
looked like an
I
inside
didn't say.
forward.
Hold on, Abdullah. Abdullah, you've not even watched this guy for 90 minutes.
For
I've
I
watched
only
this guy
watched
for.
like the because I watched the YouTube. Maybe it's because
Yeah,
of the YouTube
nobody here has watched
compilation
him.
as well.
I don't believe anyone who
I
says that
haven't
has
watched him
watched
too.
him.
No.
So
I have watched him for 90 minutes. I was telling Abdullah yesterday. We have a
mhm,
platform where you can see games for 90 minutes. Okay, I've watched
Hmm.
him, but I've only
Against
watched him
It's
who?
for
not the
What
one.
game
same,
did you see?
but that's not the same though, man.
So sorry.
It's not the same. Anyways, let me just answer Abdullah really quick, guys.
Bryce, let's go ahead.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I tell you one thing about this kid. I'll be the first to tell you that I don't get sold on YouTube clips. This guy came close to selling me on YouTube clips because, like Tosi said,
Thank you, viewers.
I never heard of this guy from a can of paint, like Queen Latifah said. I don't know this guy from anywhere. But guess what?
But Blue Eyes, go and do your scouting assignment.
No,
I
hold
don't
on, though. But
understand when people
hold
still
on,
come up and
hold
say,
on,
I haven't seen him, but I've seen him on
hold on.
YouTube.
Scouting
Go,
Because
assignment.
I have a
go and do
life.
your.
No. It's because I have a life. Everything is not
It,
football for me. I don't have time to
it
go and do
doesn't.
this. I have
It
a
doesn't.
life, my brother. No, no, no,
I
no. You
haven't
don't.
told you. I haven't told you to go to a
No,
stadium and watch
no,
a
no. Hold on,
game.
hold on, hold on. Let me just finish here. I have a life. I don't
No,
have time to scout.
it's not.
I let everybody else scout for me. But let me just finish what I'm trying to say. Listen, I haven't seen this guy from a can of paint. I've only seen him based on YouTube clips. But like our people say, then they use I no corn we ripe. You know when you go to harvest corn, you go, you take it, and then you have to peel it off to know which
Yeah.
one is mature. Some of the
Okay.
corn, you know the ones that are mature without peeling off the corn.
Yes,
This
yes.
guy, from what I have seen so far, is exactly what the doctor has recommended for that midfield. If we can get him and if we can coach him, he has three things that I like. First things first, his profile. He's tall and lanky. He's menacing.
Oh my god.
Second thing, he is a train. He can run with the ball. Oh my goodness, I haven't seen anybody do this since, I don't know, maybe since Mikel. I don't know. Even Mikel didn't even run with the ball that much. Like I haven't seen someone that can just glide. Maybe Ramirez, and Ramirez is not even all that. But somebody that can take the ball from deep and run and carry people with him, carry people along, opposing and your teammates. And then third thing is he has an eye for goal. So, again, I'm not getting carried away. But if we can do this deal and 30 million, I know it's not my. I don't care if we bought this kid for 100 million, if we buy him for 30 million, I don't care. I like what I see. Now, it's up to him. It's up to him now to come into the league and claim his own. He doesn't you can change the way you play, but you don't have to change the way you play. And that's what a lot of these kids get lost in translation because of that. They come into the English Premier League and they become timid. They become gun shy. We've seen a lot of these players that have come into our league now, to the English Premier League, and you're like, what happened? Especially for these guys, because if this guy comes in, I think this is a typical profile of what you call a life wire player. Life wire. He's the life wire of the team. And he has pace. I didn't even talk about his pace. His pace is actually very underrated.
Oh my god, an African player with peace and power. Oh, call me shocked. Call me shocked.
So yeah,
Wow, I'm so shocked.
Abdullah,
Yeah,
to answer your question, man, I hope we do this deal, but it's up to him to show us that he can sustain. It's not about being the guy, but can you sustain?
Okay, Blas, how do you look at him? Do you look at him as an inside forward or as a
Oh
striker?
no, this guy's an 8. This guy replaces Kovacic for me. If I were Pochettino.
No. Come on, no. He's
No,
a
for
striker.
me, no. I know he's not a striker. No, if you put him
No,
as striker, let
he's
me
a
tell you something.
striker.
Let me tell you something. If you put this guy as striker in the EPL, we're going to trade him the next season. The same thing that's going to happen to this thing happening to Kevin Havertz is going to happen to this kid. Put this kid in a position where he's not expected to score too many goals, and he will score more goals. This is how you coach. You put him in a position where when you're defending him, you have to worry about his creation as opposed to his goal scoring. Because goal scoring for this guy, yeah,
Blue Eyes,
mm, mm, mm.
that is what you want.
True.
Where he's the team he's playing for now
Yeah.
is their number 9. That's what I'm saying.
No. But what I'm saying to you is, he's coming to our team, right?
Yes.
No. That's
No. Hold on. Let me ask you a question.
I'm
He's
telling
coming.
you
No,
his
I know.
label.
But he's coming. I know, but he's coming.
Abdullah said what
He
he
asked me
said.
a question. He's
The
coming
most
to a team,
authentic
right?
team. No, hold on. The most authentic team
It's
he
not
is at the
authentic.
moment
Nah.
is the label he's carrying.
Nah.
And that
Let me
label
explain.
says number 9.
It's not about label, because we've seen Joe Linton with label. We've seen players with label. It's not. They don't come here with label. It's not
That is
about
what
label.
I'm saying. That is what you want to see.
Hold on.
But his correct label.
How many
is a
goals has
number
he?
9.
What's his best scoring year in the?
That is
in the
not the
French league?
point. His correct
He
label
played,
is
he
correct
played,
It's
he
label
played
12.
now.
Let me just ask
No,
a
no, I was
question,
talking to
please.
someone else.
What's his best scoring year in the French league, please? Somebody help me.
No, it's
No,
like La Liga.
Liga, it's 12 goals.
In
12
La
goals
Liga,
in La
sorry,
Liga.
in La Liga.
12
Thank
goals,
you.
12 goals.
That's a midfielder goal scoring profile.
No, that's more like a winger.
How many
That's
seasons?
mad.
How many seasons has he played in La Liga? The
That's
guy
his
is
first
just from
season.
You
they
tell
just
me.
brought him from Senegal. Blue Eyes.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
No, it's been at the academy. It's been there for like 2-3 years. But that's his
Abdul,
first
What I
season.
mean, what I mean is
Abdul, you
he
didn't do
just
research on this guy. I know you've
no
watched the app, but you didn't do research. Look at there. Come on, stop.
no. I will not. Oh, hold on.
Abdul, don't get carried away on that app. I know you've watched that app, but that app doesn't mean you know this guy.
let me. No, hold on. I easily
Yeah.
could have not told you the source, but okay. But
But now it
that's
makes sense that you told us the source. Now it makes sense because this app
Guys,
is
hit the like
incredible.
button. Hit the like button,
Hit
guys.
the
Hit the
like
like
button,
button.
guys. Like the video. Like the video. People in the chat. I'm gonna read your chat.
Listen,
No worries.
Abdullah, let me just finish here. Then Abdul
Go
can
ahead.
go. Listen, I just want to make it quick. So from Abdul asked me a question. Do I see him as an inside forward or whatever?
no,
I
not
see
me.
him.
I wouldn't ask you that question. It's Kenny.
Abdullahi
You
asked
say,
me a
right,
question.
because me, I see him as an
Exactly.
inside
Yeah.
forward, not a striker.
Let me tell you
forward.
what I see him as. For me, and like Abdul said, yeah, it's my choice. For me, you need this guy playing behind a number 10. This guy is too good to play as a striker. He's too good. His first touch alone, and from what I've seen, listen, he could come to the EPL and tank it. Just like Opanka. For me, Opanka is not. I saw Opanka before he came to EPL. He was world class. When he came to the EPL, I'm like, who is this guy? And I'm going to be straight up. So this might happen to this kid too.
Who is Opanka?
Oh guys. Sorry.
Fernandez, Enzo Fernandez.
Enzo.
No.
Okay. Enzo, the World Cup winner.
No. Let's not go that deep, Abdul. Let's talk about the surface. Look, let's be honest. No, let's be honest. 1 second, Abdullah. Sorry, I want to ask guys this question. Sorry. Go ahead, guys. Sorry.
No. Ask me, my brother. I'm waiting for the question. Let's ask.
Yeah, guys. First of all, hello to everyone.
I hear you pass, my brother. I hear you pass.
Thank you. Sorry. I tried. But let me ask this question to our guys.
Yes, sir.
Now that we're trying to free Enzo to play him as number 8, would you take Opanka or this guy as number 8 now?
That's a very good question. See, my problem is, Gule, God will bless you for that question because I had to pause for that question. You know why?
When Blue Eyes don't have the answer, he will say, God bless you. You start praying.
Yeah, but I tell you why.
Blue,
You see, let me land. You know why I like that question?
That's your question. My profession.
Oh, no, you know why I like that question by Goulet is because now what I'm hearing in the streets of Chelsea fandom is we need to bring this guy in for Enzo. We need to bring that guy in for Enzo. We need to bring this girl in for Enzo. Enzo better be very careful with all this bringing in for him. you guys don't like if you know football, you understand what I'm saying.
Blue Eyes is banter. Just answer the question.
Hold on.
We've heard that with different players in the past.
No. Hold on. So again, Goulet, to answer your question, I don't think it's about what we bring for Enzo. It's about what Enzo can do for us. I don't know if you understand what I mean.
No, I completely understand you guys.
It's about what can Enzo do for us. And so far, my brothers and sisters, he has done jack shit.
Yeah, but guys, he had to play number 6. Guys, he had to play number 6. Now we're trying to get Caicedo for this guy so he can be freed to play the same position he played for Benfica, to play the same position he played for River Plate, to play the same position he played for Argentina, and play as a number 8.
So
So
you
my
do
question
no
for you
okay.
is,
So Guled, you do accept that he's been shit since he came. I like that.
yeah, because
Perfect.
that's not his natural position, guys.
It's so perfect. So we
How
can
many?
It's
actually
not
How
his
many?
natural position.
How
It's
many
not his
weeks has he
natural
played?
position.
How many weeks has he
But
played
wait,
for
are we
Chelsea?
talking about Enzo or are we talking about that Jackson guy? Bro? I don't
Let,
know.
no,
We're
Kenny,
talking about
Kenny,
Enzo.
No,
Kenny,
Kenny,
Enzo.
what?
guys, let's
Uh,
not go to Enzo Fernandez, but Kenny.
Abdullah, can I speak next about this guy, man?
Okay, go ahead, Abdul. Now we're gonna have a
Okay,
Dictionary
okay.
lecture.
So
The lecture.
the thing is, I only heard about this guy when it was announced that Chelsea wants him. I've only scouted this guy for 90 minutes, okay, and I've also watched a few clips about him. My opinion about this guy is he has a playing style like Kudus, but he's not as good as Kudus. You get it? But I don't really mind because he's a young player. He's just 20 or 21 or so,
21, yeah.
and he's a striker. But I have the feeling that he can develop. You don't expect a 20, 21-year-old to have everything. But if he can translate what he's doing at Villarreal, translate it to the Premier League, then I'm okay with that. As long as we don't rely on him, but he can deliver. If he's able to translate, he can deliver. Like Blue Eye said, he has certain characteristics. You can tell from the style of play, he's a good baller, but he's very young and he's inexperienced. I look at him, what I see is like I'm sort of like mirror him with Kudus, but he's not as good as Kudus at the moment. But for 30 million pounds, I will take him. As long as we're not relying on him next season to score 25 goals. But he will deliver if he gets the opportunity. That's what I believe about this kid. For 30 million, I'll snap him up. But I think if we have maybe like 3 strikers like this guy, I think they will be able to deliver for us what we need from a striker, or from what we need from our striker. But we cannot rely on him. But he can develop, he can deliver if he has the opportunity. So
Fair enough.
that's my
Kenny,
take on him.
Nicholas Onyebuchi Jackson.
What are the nicknames?
What are the nicknames? Man?
That's the
You're
name.
not gonna
That's
kick the ball.
the name on Twitter. Right.
Now, from what I've seen from him, obviously I know he's Senegalese. I know he
Yes,
played today for
he played in the
Senegal.
World Cup. Yeah, played in the World Cup.
Like I said, I've seen some highlights, and I've watched one game. I think it was the last game of the season they played against Atletico Madrid. I saw him; he scored there, but I wasn't paying attention specifically to him. But yeah, I think he's a decent player. But like I said, for me, he's not like a number. I see him more like you see, like a Rashford. He can play number 9, yeah, but I think that is for me his best position is like inside forward of the left for me. Inside forward probably like left side for me. I see him more in that mode, not like a proper striker. He's a more versatile. He's not like a number 9 for me. He's a more versatile. He can play all over the front three. But yeah, he's been decent, but for me, it's like we're gonna pay 35 million for a guy he's had like a good 6 months. So obviously it's a gamble. You can take the gamble, but and he does have attribute that can fit well in the league. Like he's quite physical, he's tall. But yeah, I think he needs to probably get a bit like he's gonna have to get some like upper body strength a bit. But yeah, we'll see. And but like I said, I think
What I forgot to add, sorry, Kenny, and I'd actually like to direct that question to you. If we end up giving Kai to Arsenal or whoever for 60 plus million, and we're getting this kid for 30 million, would you say that's a very good deal by Chelsea?
uh, Probably, I would say
Will, will, will,
probably
will you
yes.
ever start this guy ahead of Kai?
I don't know. I haven't seen him I haven't seen him play on the Chelsea
Oh,
on the
oh,
new
oh,
manager,
oh,
so I
oh,
can
oh, okay,
tell.
I get you. I get you. But would you think it's a
I
good
can
deal?
tell.
Selling Kai Havertz for 60 and getting this guy for 30? Will you think it's a good deal?
Yeah, I think it's a good deal. It's a
Because
good deal.
I think
Obviously,
personally, I think it's a good deal for me.
I
And
think it's a good. Obviously,
I'd rather have this guy
yeah,
from what I've seen. I might be wrong, but what I've seen so far, I'd rather have this guy ahead of Kai Havertz.
Fair enough.
it depends on the thing. From obviously, as like I said, he does have certain attributes, but for me, it's like he's been like a professional. Like he's had a good like 6 months because I saw
Mm-hmm.
the first 6 months of the season. I think he got injured a bit. So the last 6 months, that's when he really like the 12 goals, the 12 goals, and that is he's got in the last 6 months. So he's had a
Mm-hmm.
good purple. We've seen players, they have good purple patches, and then afterwards. So you never know because he doesn't
Fair
have
enough.
like he doesn't even have a actual like a whole season where he started. So that's the only risk. But obviously, I think for the price is the type of risk that you're willing to take. Uh, it's it's not that expensive nowadays in the current market. 30 no, it's not that expensive. So yeah, I don't mind the risk, and he has
Wait,
attributes there.
I,
So
I
yeah,
have one question though. I have one question.
yeah.
This is a little bit off topic, but how is this guy Senegalese, but his name Yankee? He get Yankee name Nicholas
Nicholas
Jackson.
Jackson. No,
Ah,
no,
Tosi,
I'm
Tosi.
not. Honestly, I'm not responding to that. Please, I prefer not to talk to that. I prefer not. Sometimes when you have a root, when your root doesn't align together, there's a problem. But I prefer not to talk because it's an African brother, so I will respect my roots. I will respect my roots for that. Kim,
Tosi,
bullet,
Tosi. Chai.
bullet, relax. Kiman, Nicholas Jackson.
Yeah, guys, what's up,
No,
man?
but,
I
but,
just
but
see
what
Blue is
Tosin is
coming. Big up.
point really, from the name, you wouldn't expect him to be Senegal. Okay, he was born in Gambia. That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
He was born in Gambia. I wasn't expecting him to. I thought he was European. Like when I saw the
No,
name.
no, no, no.
So Tosin is
No,
from
The,
Gambia.
I think he's Gambian, but he was born in Senegal. I think that's it.
Yeah, yeah, that's what the chat
No.
is saying. But
the first
guys,
and the
listen,
last
man.
name must have been changed.
No, guys, listen, man.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that last
Kiman,
name
go ahead,
100%
Kiman.
has been changed. The last name 100% has been changed.
I never met a black guy
Uh,
called Nicholas. I'm sorry.
no, I've met many
I
a
met
lot of Nicholas,
Nicola,
especially in East.
not Nicholas.
Nicholas is a very, very popular name in East Africa. Very, very popular.
Nicholas Anelka.
No, that he's
Nicola.
French. Oh, Nicola, not Nicholas. Okay, sorry. Uh,
No, but it's really in the same way. I think it's just probably the way the Spanish
Yeah,
people say, or
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
similar.
just the pronunciation.
no,
Yeah,
I
that's
think
true.
according to the report, he was born. He was wait, guys. Wait, he was born in Banjul and with a Senegalese ancestry. Jackson was raised in Zagunjo, Senegal. He began playing for local side AST Tilene before joining Casa Sport, where he was part of the first team squad during the 2018-2019. He was also okay. So it's born. He was born in Senegal. He was born in
Hey,
Senegal.
Banju, he's a Banju tribe guy.
Banjul,
Chai.
yeah, Banjul, Gambia. It's interesting. Born in Banjul, Gambia, with a Senegalese ancestry. Interesting.
Proper village man.
Chai, Chineke. Kiman, Nicola Jackson. They said we should not call him Nicolas anymore. Nicola.
Nicola Jackson. Guys, listen. I am not opposed to bringing new players to this club. I will never be opposed, right? Especially for the price that he's being quoted at. But my biggest worry is this a signing that the manager is on board with, or is this a data-driven, purely data signing? Because we already have a Datsu Fofana, right? We already have a Datsu Fofana. And when I look at this, I say, all right, the current striker market is not as good as what we think it is. Most of our good targets don't want to leave, or they're going to be quoted too high of a price. Now, looking at this guy, Nicola Jackson, any Chelsea player who tells you that they have been following this guy is, I'm sorry, I don't believe you. I do not believe you at all. I don't know who this guy is. I have just started seeing him the other day. But when I saw how tall he is, and I think Votes for Feet wrote in the comments, he's a Dakar Abraham. That's very harsh. It's very harsh. But when you see how tall he is, right? Whenever Chelsea sign a tall attacker, you guys hear me? Can you guys
Go
hear me?
ahead,
Hello?
yeah. We can hear you.
Whenever Chelsea,
Loud and clear. Loud and clear.
I'm sorry, my headpiece is just running on low battery. Whenever Chelsea sign a tall attacker, the ball is always magically lost in between their feet. That is what worries me the most about this guy.
You are sick for saying
Yes.
that, but no comment.
No,
And they can't head the ball properly as well.
they can't hit the ball properly somehow. They're tall, but they can't. The ball, as soon as they just start to run, it's lost in between their legs, and they start looking around us like a confused giraffe. But 30 million, I would gladly take the risk. I would gladly take the risk. And I want to bring people back to something that Abdul said a while ago, that we need multiple strikers. We need multiple strikers. Can you guys still hear me?
Fair enough, we can hear you. Fair enough. So let me come to Tosin and Tosin. Nicola Jackson.
I'm not an expert. I don't know anything about him. I'm gonna be real.
Fair enough. Ogagoled, our African brother, born from Banjul, Gambia, raised in Senegal.
Well, to be honest, in terms of finances, it's a shoot signing. And I think Ogai said this earlier, and I must add to his point that this guy needs a striker ahead of him. And if realistically, because I don't know if you guys seen, but in the latest updates, they said that they're still looking for a striker.
Yes.
He is not our top striker.
Yes.
Yeah, so I wanted to even bring a point, Abdullah, and maybe you guys can agree or disagree with me. What do you guys think of this guy playing with Nkunku as a double striker?
He could work the ball. Both of them are false now, but the problem is if Chelsea are looking at the traditional number 9, that tells me there's going to be a rotation in the squad in terms of striker, because based on the report I'm hearing from Austin Fabricio, Nkunku is going to be number 10. That's it. That was the reason they let go of João Felix. So Nkunku is going to be straight number 10. That shows me we're going to go for a traditional number 9, what they are looking at. So if you're going to bring in this guy in, you're going to be swapping him with a number 10, with a number 9, where the 9 can start maybe after 75 minutes or 80 minutes. This guy can come in to develop his game. Or sometimes you can start him as a number 9, bring kind of mix it together. Like the way we play Drogba and Anelka under Carlo Ancelotti. You can do both of them together, or play one bench one bench one.
Okay, so you, from what I'm hearing from you, basically what you're telling me is it seems as though we're going to be playing with one striker, right?
Yes.
This is what I have an issue with. Because even though we know Pochettino as a 4-2-3-1 guy, but if it's going to be a 4-2-3-1 and Nkunku plays as a number 10, right? And you have to play wingers on both flanks.
Yeah.
Not a traditional striker, not a traditional supporting striker, but a winger, right? So this actually tells you, Abdullah, that this guy will be lost in the sauce in the bench. Because this guy, okay, Ogai said that he want him to play as a number 8. Me, I would rather play Enzo, because we saw his creativity from a number 6. So if he has enough space to play as a number 8, this guy can cook. Because we never had a player that can cook. No, let's be honest. We never had a player that can. One second, Kiman. Let me learn. We never had a traditional number 8 player that can give you 12 to 20 assists a season. We never had that. It's been a very long time. That position has been almost neglected.
I'm able to mention Fabregas, but continue.
Yeah, but Fabregas was like a floating number 10. Let's be completely honest. Yeah, he was more of a floating number 10. He can play as a number 8, but if you want him to cook, he has to play as a number 10. But as a traditional number 8 that can spray balls left, right, and center, I think Enzo can play in that position for us. I would play Nicolas Jackson as a supporting striker. But the issue for me is if Nkunku plays at number 10, which is the position that I'm talking about right now, officially, since we're going to play with one striker, this guy will be lost in the bench. This is what worries me. Because if he's not our top striker, right? And this guy is technical for a tall guy. And he's got quick feet. I like African players that have to play in La Liga first before they come to the Premier League. Because it's more technical there. Naturally, African players are more physical. But if you play for a season or two in a technically, highly technical league, you will come with light feet, what I call light feet, right? So now if he comes to us, I think he will cook, but he needs to play as a supporting striker. If it's a one position thing, I don't know where he's going to play. But nonetheless, it's
so basically, but that's what Nkunku is. Nkunku is a support striker too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Tosin. If we play with one striker, because Pochettino is known for his 4-2-3-1, then this guy will get lost in the sauce if he's not our first priority striker, according to the sources.
But Gulet, do I see a scenario where he can play him as an inside forward, where Klopp plays Mane, Salah, and then Roberto Firmino when he came into Liverpool, where those three players were floating around, none of them still.
But you have a 100 million player though. That's the thing. That's
no, but not only that, Tosin. It was a 4-3-3. 4-3-3.
Yeah, 4-3-3.
Yeah, it's 4-3-3. So in terms of 4-3-3, right? Defensively, this is what they have to do twice to work in the midfield for Liverpool. This is why they do the gegenpress to cover the spaces, because you need certain stamina to play that kind of formation with players floating around and exchanging positions. But with the 4-2-3-1, it's more structural. You only can float around when you have the ball, not without the ball. So this guy can get lost in the sauce, bro. That's all I'm saying. But apart from that, I think it's a shrewd signing, and it shows that we're looking for highly technical strikers, and we're not just going for the big name. So I hope he does well. But if it's 4-2-3-1, then I'm sorry, but rest in peace.
Chai.
No, I'll hold on 1 second before we continue. I want to ask you a question. Now, through what you just said, this looks more of like a data-driven signing than an actual Pochettino one, right?
Yeah, according. If you look at every detail that we spoke about, I think it's a data signing.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. That's what's been bothering me the past few days.
Because positionally, the position that I think he's going to do well in, which is the supporting striker, you either play as a two-player striker or you play as a 4-2-2. 4-2-2-2, but that supporting striker can drift in as a number 10 as well. So Nkunku have that position, as you said, number 10. So this is the only worry for me.
But you can also, this is what I'm saying. The problem is I don't see us spending 150, 100 million on a striker this season. But if you sell players, it might happen. That's what I'm saying.
Who is your striker? Who is your 9? Who is your 9?
We don't have a 9. We do not have a 9. So I'm guessing Poch might play these guys in number 9. That's my guess. That's my big guess.
We don't need to spend 150 on the striker though.
No, but
the only striker worth that right now is Osimhen. That's it.
Yeah,
Osimhen, yeah.
I'm sure you can get Vlahovic for like 78 max, or you can get like.
Guys, look at the irony of the situation. If you look at the sources, right, regarding Chelsea, the one that has the highest probability is Vlahovic. But Vlahovic in Atlanta was not the same Vlahovic in Juventus. The reason why is because if you look at what the coach plays, he was isolated. So if he's going to be our top priority and we play 4-2-3-1, and he's going to be our priority striker, he's going to be isolated again, unless we have the ball. So which means it's gonna limit our opportunities to counter attack when players are ready and in position already, because it's 4-2-3-1. Some players have to go deep to help the fullbacks in terms of defense. So their position is isolated. So I don't know.
This time we have to wait and see how, because sometimes we have to look at managers. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna look, because Poch is 51. This is where I'm gonna rate him as a manager. How does he work with this player and make them better? Because, like I said, if a sell the player want to say we buy this player, I still want to see a traditional number 9. Because if we don't buy a number 9 this season, that shows me That tells me
Oh,
we're gonna have a playing a
oh,
fluid forward.
no, Abdullah,
Mm-hmm.
we already know that this guy for the past 6 months has played number 9, has played the striking role for Villarreal. But the thing is, we don't really know our team now because it seems to me like we have to construct a new team or a new squad. So we'll only be able to confirm what is what at the start of next season when most of our players will be in. And most of the ones we want to leave have actually left. But the thing is, the question that I have is why did somebody say they believe it's more of a data driven signing? Somebody said earlier they
That's
think
Kima. That's
it's.
Kima.
Is it Kiman? Why did Kiman say he thinks it's more of a data driven signing?
He said because he's not sure either Pochettino has a say in it or not.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, why did you raise that question?
I
Because
think I can answer you. Let me answer
Uh,
you, Kima. I think I can answer you, Abdul. The reason why
Go
we
ahead.
say that is even though this guy, as you said, for the last 6 months or so, he's been
Yeah,
playing as a number 9 and he's been eating. But
yeah,
let's not forget, this guy was on the verge of signing for Bournemouth in January. This guy actually came for a medical, but the reason why he didn't sign is because he had a hip injury. So Bournemouth
yeah.
pulled off. They pulled back. So guess what happened? I think 2 weeks or 3 weeks after that, I'm not sure, but in that time range, the guy had an operation for his hip. This guy started banging after January, after the hip operation.
Okay.
Does
You
he
see?
play? Did he play in the World Cup with
He
Senegal?
did. Yeah, he did.
I
Yeah,
don't
he did.
remember him.
Yeah, yeah,
He did.
yeah.
He did. He was there. He was in Senegal. He played in the World Cup.
Which games? He never came
are you
on.
He
sure?
played. He played. He played. Yeah, he did play. Yeah, he played. Nicolas Jackson played. He came on.
So
Which game? Which
so
game? Was
I
it the
think he
Netherlands game? I
played.
think it
I think
was.
he played in the second match in the group stage, and he played in the round of season against England.
I don't even
I think.
remember this guy AFCON self. I don't.
Yeah, he did.
Me
No,
No,
neither.
he
he
was
played.
not
No,
there
I
at
don't think he
AFCON.
played. He wasn't an AFCON. No,
He
I don't think he
played
played.
in
that,
No, he
World
wasn't
Cup.
that
Yeah,
is
at
he played in
why
Qatar.
that is why I said they've just
And there
plucked
was
him.
no Mane.
He's
There was no
just 20
Mane in
years
that World
old.
Cup team either.
He's
Exactly.
just 20
Yeah,
years old. That's why I said they've just plucked him.
yeah,
And
yeah. But let me
but the
answer you,
thing is,
Abdul. Let me answer you, right?
yeah, yeah.
Let me answer you. If we look at this play, even though he played in that position for 9 months, right?
Yeah.
We don't want to take a chance with a player that's inexperienced in a physical league like the Premier League. Because we can completely agree as real true Chelsea fans, the issue that Havertz had in this kind of position is the fact that he needs an extra second or two more. He doesn't get that in this league. He can get it in La Liga because it's more technical. He can get it in Bundesliga because it's more open. But in this league, you have to be thinking very quickly. Every millimeter counts. Forget about a millisecond or anything else. Every inch counts. So this is why you always feel like Havertz need an extra touch. So if this is not our priority or our number one striker, he will be ending up in the bench. If we buy like a Vlahovic or a Martinez, there's not going to be no position for this guy
So,
because
Oh
we
no.
know because we
so
know
You're
guys,
saying
my
Nkunku.
bad.
so
He was in
Yeah,
this
because
squad.
no
because
He was in this.
So you're saying you don't think he's good enough for Chelsea, so you don't think Poch will have actually recommended him or approve of him.
no no.
From
The
what
way
I'm
we
hearing,
broke,
I heard Poch wants Lautaro.
yeah,
Yes, he was.
the way we broke it down, Abdul, right, is very simple
Yeah.
because we're looking at the formation that Pochettino thrives in, which is 4-2-3-1, right? In that number 10 position, Nkunku is guaranteed to start, and this guy is not going to be a priority striker. Which means our priority striker, aka if the sources are right, either Flajovic or Martinez or whoever is going to play
Exactly.
in that
That's why this guy.
isolated position.
Guled, that's why exactly what I'm. Guled, God bless you. This is exactly why I'm saying that this boy is a perfect 8.
why is it that
No,
Mr.
He's not
Bullite
playing
always
eight.
blesses you when
This
you
guy's a
agree with
forward.
him?
He's not playing eight. Come on, bro.
but you see, good lad. I have a counter argument. My
This guy
counter
is an
argument
8,
is
man. This guy is the best 8 that we can get
my,
right
my,
now.
my counter argument is I think
Mhm,
most of the squad next season will be a very young squad,
mhm.
and I think they'll probably be like 20, 21, 22 or so. I think that's going to be like most of our players next season, and I
Mhm.
don't think I don't know what coach is going to do next season, but it's not advisable for young players, especially at this level of football, for you to play 4-2-3-1. The reason why I said that is any system now that requires a number 10, it's what you can call a complicated system. That is why I believe somebody like Felix actually failed with his Chelsea loan. It's a complex system because you need a number 10, and it's not easy to play a number 10 in the Premier League week in, week out. So,
No,
and
but
then
what
you
are you
have
saying?
young.
What are you saying that
Hold
Felix played in a
So let
4-2-3-1?
me
Are you
let
saying
me
that
let you
Felix
say
played in a 4-2-3-1? Is that what you're
no
saying?
no. Felix was most of the time playing our number 10 now. Abby, was it not number 10 most of the time?
No,
Yeah, but
but
it was
in
different.
number
It
10,
was
in what
different.
formation? In
No,
number 10,
he
in what
played
formation?
9. He played 9 most of the time.
Felix
Like if you
played
say
9
number,
most of the time.
if you say
No,
a
no,
number
it was
10,
it
what
was.
formation?
Oh, no. Anyway, see, I'm going somewhere with this.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say precisely is, for a young team, you have to simplify their game for them. You have to simplify it, but once you drop a number 10 in it, that formation becomes a little bit complex. So what you need to set up has to be simple and clear direction, especially at this level. It has to be defense, attack, attack, defense. If you want to make
Okay,
it too
okay, Abdul,
complex,
Abdul, Abdul.
that's when you
Okay, Abdul.
that's
Okay,
when you
Abdul.
do.
According to what you said, right? And
Yeah,
if we go by your logic, right?
yeah.
This guy, even though he played for 6 months, would you play this guy as a lone striker
So that is
in a
no, no, no. So
4-2-3-1?
that is no. So that is what I'm saying. I don't think you would drop in number 10 because it makes the system complex for a young team. So we have to make it where we go from defense, attack, attack, defense. And if you are going to play with four at the back, the ideal system to go with is 4-3-3. Four
You're right.
defenders to
In
secure
in in the ideal world,
that's
yes, you're right.
hold on, good. So
Mhm.
three defenders, three attackers. Very simple. You get the ball from defense, get it into attack. You get the ball in attack. If you have to defend, you go on defense. You have to simplify it for them. Else, this team will suffer and will go through what we went through last season. So with this guy, if you play 4-2-3-1, you can play him any of the position in the three up front. So he will be like some kind of like Mane. So you can put him as the striker, you can put him to the right of the striker, you can put him to the left of the striker. That's what I'm trying to say. So
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think we
But
should
but but but,
be.
but
But
before
can
I
he
leave
play
this,
those positions to a top level? That's the point. Can he play at a
People
That's the
top?
say
that's the question, Abdul.
no. People say he can play other roles apart from a 10. I'm sorry, apart from a
Yeah,
9. I've only seen him playing a 9. But the thing is, if you have a young squad or young players, like I've said earlier on in the street, you cannot rely on them.
okay,
But
okay, Abdul.
and
One second,
no,
one
but the
second,
thing is,
one
but the thing
second.
is, hold on, Guled. But the
Mhm.
thing is, with their ability, can they deliver? Okay,
Yeah, but this is
I think he can deliver, but I don't think we can rely on him on whatever role we assign to him. We cannot depend on most of our players because they are young players. But most of them, I believe, they have the ability to deliver. Go ahead, Guled.
yes. Okay, okay, Abdul. I understand what you just said, but you're right. He should not use 4-2-3-1. But we are talking about in the situation where Pochettino wants to thrive. We know that his base is 4-2-3-1. This guy eats, lives, and breathes 4-2-3-1, right? So in the three players that are behind the striker, the one who's going to play in the middle, which is going to be in a way a camouflage between a number 8 and a number 10, is going to be an Nkunku, right? The two sides, the right side and the left side, naturally wingers play those positions, right? Not a technically high level striker or a technically adept striker like Nicholas Jackson. In that kind of position, he never thrives. We don't know if he's going to thrive. It's a gamble. So naturally, a coach will put a winger in those two flanks, right? This is why I said he can get lost in the sauce, which
but
means if he's
Gullet,
not our priority striker, which could be Vlahovic or Martinez or anybody, that striker is going to hold that position because he's the priority striker.
No, this no no
This
no
guy
no no
could
Gule,
be,
Gule, hold on, Gule, don't go far. Hold on, don't go far. I hear what you're saying. This guy cannot get lost in a sauce. This guy is coming in as a specialist. because there is nobody right now that is doing what this boy can do in our entire team. And I only
Yeah, but
saw
I'm not.
10 minutes of YouTube clips to
Yeah,
tell you that there's
oh
nobody in
guys,
our
I'm
team. Yeah.
oh guys,
Go
I'm not
ahead.
disagreeing with you. I'm not
Bullet.
disagreeing with you. But I
Okay,
was just looking at the positions, right?
No,
If you
no.
look at the
Bullet.
positions, the three players behind the striker, the one in the middle is naturally going to be Nkunku. The ones on both sides are going to be natural wingers, so that when we have the ball, they can create the width, right?
Nkunku is not guaranteed though.
Bullet.
Nkunku
Bullet.
looks
Bullet.
good
Bullet.
right now until he comes to the EPL.
Sorry, Blue
Calm
Eyes.
down with
Bullet.
you, Nkunku.
Bullet.
Oh
I
wait,
agree.
but
I
Nicholas
agree.
hasn't played in the EPL either, Blue Eyes.
No, no,
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm
Bullet.
giving everybody the
Bullet.
same platform to see. Thank you.
Ah,
Hold
okay,
on.
okay.
That's what I'm
Bullet. Bullet.
saying.
But
Everybody's gonna come and do on your mic. Let's say ready, go.
Hold
Everybody's gonna
on.
come and do his own.
Bullet.
Mhm.
I agree with your thesis, but the place I will fault your argument is where you said, or where you believe that what's his name, Poch is going to Poch is going to stick with his 4-2-3-1, because if he sticks with his 4-2-3-1 next season, I'm not saying 2 or 3 seasons from now, this next coming season, and from what I can see from the profile of players, it seems we are going to put together, okay, the whole
Mhm.
team lost in the sauce.
Mhm.
Trust me, next season, the entire team will be lost in the sauce, because you cannot afford, if except they change the profile of the players they're bringing in. If he goes with a 4-2-3-1, he will be in serious trouble. And that is why previously people like Tuchel have not really played their favored formation. They've gone with 3 at the back.
Mhm.
Okay. So
I'm
in that
confused
case,
though. I'm just confused with that
let me
statement,
But
Abdul.
finish.
Abdul,
Let
I
me,
know.
let me,
I'm confused
I'm
with what you said
confused.
because
Exactly.
Eric,
Exactly.
guys, wait. Abdul, Eric can act play 4-2-3-1 and he succeeded with it. So why is it complicated? Because
I
I'm
don't
a
know.
little bit
I don't
confused.
know.
Because
did you hear
I
me?
get
Did
what
you
Gule
hear me,
That's
said.
why I said
Abdullah?
I'm confused too.
Because
No, no,
hold
but
on, Abdul. I get
okay.
what
So you
Gule
are
said.
confused.
Wait, wait.
Hold on, Abdullah. You said you are confused, but I believe I clarified myself enough. I said
No,
if
I'm
we
confused
end
too.
up,
That's what I
hold
said.
on,
I said I'm
hold on. So
confused too.
let me clarify. If we end up
Mhm.
with the profile of players I said that I think we are putting together, the
Mhm.
team is not here, but from all indication in terms of the players it seems we are pursuing,
Mhm.
if I believe if the profile of players I think they're going to put together is the profile of players that we actually put together. Okay. So if my expectation is actually equivalent to my actuals, and that's the team we put together, okay, with a 4-2-3-1, the entire team will be lost in the sauce. And the
I
reason
still
why I said that is, hold on now. The reason why I
okay.
said that is that system will be so difficult, so complicated for a young team in the Premier League, in the EPL. It will be too difficult. Ten Hag does not have a young team. He has experienced team. He
Then
has
you're not ready to.
Casemiro.
No. But the problem with that statement
Abdul,
is
I
that
still disagree
then
with you.
you're not ready to play for Chelsea. If you cannot come in and listen, all this
You
4-2-3.
cannot.
Hold on,
So
let me just say something. One
Why did
statement.
Tuchel not play with
Hold
his
on. One
favorite
my
position?
last statement. My last statement. Then you can go. This is your mic, Abdul. All these numbers that we're calling 4-2-3-1, 4-1-7-5,
4-3-3.
5-6. It's AKA pack the boss.
No,
Like I
4-2-3-1 is
just want that to sink in. No, four two
no,
three
they are
one
not
is
pack
pack
the
the boss.
boss. They are not.
No,
It's not pack the boss.
no, it's pack the boss now. No.
You can't pack
It's
the
a
boss with a number
counter-attacking
10.
system.
Come on, man.
Difficulty there.
Come on.
You can't pack the boss
Four
with a number
two
10.
three one is the most covert pack the boss strategy that has
How can you
existed.
pack the boss with a number
it's
10?
it's it's a pure counter-attacking style.
Counter-attacking
When you play
system.
4-2-3-1, you
Exactly.
really
You
want to
soak
counter.
up.
You want to, yeah.
Exactly. You soak
You
up.
are
It's a
playing with
sponge. It's a
a
sponge.
number 10.
Oh, come
You
on,
are
man.
playing with a
Guys,
number
are
10.
we
You
really
cannot pack
talking
the
about this,
boss.
guys? I just want to be clear, man. Are we really talking about
No, no,
pack
no.
the boss? 4-2-3-1
Continue
is
your argument.
Let,
pack the
Continue
let
your
me
boss.
let
argument.
me let me guys let me read the chat. Let me read
Read
the
the
chat.
chat.
No, no. 1 second, Abdul. 1 second. I understand what Guy S is saying because 4-2-3-1 is a covert 4-5-1
It's a pack
in
the
terms of
boss, my
defending.
brother.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
in terms of
It
defending.
goes
It
flat
is.
and it goes Christmas tree, flat Christmas tree, flat
Mhm.
Christmas tree. It does that.
It's true.
That's
That's
4-2-3-1.
that's Ancelotti's bread and butter, right? Let's be completely honest. But in terms, but the issue we have in Chelsea. Sorry, Abdullah, one second. The issue we have in Chelsea, the thing that we lack, and let's be completely honest as Chelsea fans, the thing that we lack is fluidity between the attack and the defense. We don't have fluidity.
And that is why
Our
I
game,
like and Gulen, and that, sorry for interrupting again. This is the reason, because you're bringing up all my points. This is the reason why I suspect that this kid's profile, trying to fit this fluidity thing you're talking about, this kid's profile might fit because he's fluid. He can move.
but he will not eat in 4-2-3-1, our guys. He will eat in 4-2-2-2.
I think he'll eat. Really?
I promise you. I promise you.
Exactly, Gula. That's what I'm saying. You are already finding fault in the 4-2-3-1.
No, how? You know why? You know what? You know who I attribute this kid to? And maybe this, I'm just being agenda based. I like this kid is like the, Diaby that was on the long injured list at Arsenal.
Abu Dhabi.
Yeah. I see this boy and I'm like, yo, this is young Diaby, man. If used properly. Huh?
Who's Diaby?
The Arsenal.
Abu Dhabi. Arsenal Diaby.
He was on the injured list for almost 10 years. Abu Dhabi was supposed to replace.
No, this guy's not Abu Dhabi now.
No, but can I just finish with what I'm saying? Nah, Abdul, sometimes you feel like you're on your period, man.
Abdul's on fire today.
I'm already I don't know why you are just adamant. We've told you what we saw. You said you've not seen it.
Hold on,
You are just using your own imagination.
Hold on. This guy is like Abu Dhabi for me. I'm telling you, if we put this boy as striker, we're going to trade him next season. If we put this boy anywhere near that number 9 position, whether it's maybe false 9, maybe.
Oh, guys, this is why I said 4-2-2-2. This guy will eat. If it's 4-2-3-1, this guy will get lost in the sauce.
No, he won't. 4-2-3-1, this guy can play 10.
Listen, yeah, but Nkunku is going to play that position.
Who?
See, come on, Blue Eyes.
Nkunku.
Man, come on, man.
No, this guy can play 10
from number 8 to number 10. Come on.
He can play both positions.
Let me get the shot too.
This is a guy that can fit different Listen, for Abdullah, one last second. For me, this kid,
this nonsense,
whether he plays 9, 10, 11, 12, right? He just has to come to the EPL and work and make it work. If it doesn't work, it's a bust.
Like before I get the shot, let's only say something. Grab the shirt.
I know
he has to come in and
grab your shirt.
The thing is, Abdullah, Blue Eyes like his style of play.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a matter of he's seen it for 2 minutes or 10 minutes or 1 day.
I like the style of play, man. You're absolutely right.
A player's style of play is a player's style of play.
That's true.
You can see that player for 2 minutes, you will see his style of play. Blue Eyes likes this kid's style of play.
That's it.
Okay.
I don't know anything about the kid, but I like the profile. This is exactly what I want on my team.
Exactly. You see, but that's not the reality.
No, it's reality, because I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
Let me read the shot.
It's not imagination. No.
Said, Nicolas Jackson remind me of
Wait, Abdullah, 1 second. Abdullah, 1 second. 1 second.
Drop the break.
I'm tired of this Drogba regions. Stop that, please.
The Eredivisie is the 6th ranked league. If Ajax were the Premier League, they would have finished 6th or 7th, which is where Chelsea is going to finish. Vote relax. Vote also said the squad that you see this season will be Chelsea's squad for the next 3-4 years. If certain player doesn't work, they will not be able to offload. More than half of them are on 5-year contracts.
This is on the coach. If this happens, it's on the coach.
No, that's on the, yeah.
We have
it's
no
on the coach. You see what I'm saying, Tosin? It's on the coach.
Sorry, Abdullah. Sorry, Abdullah.
Can you go back? Abdullah, can you go back that one for a second, please? The one earlier. The one about Caicedo and Enzo. Go back up, please. Go back up, please.
Wait. Hold on. What?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, this one. Now, this is a good point, right? Because I've said this. We already have Santos and Cassidy. I don't think we'll sign someone else until they're evaluated during preseason. That's the truth.
Caicedo is not ready, man.
No, they will be evaluated. Let's be honest. If Potts thinks that he can do something, we will not sign another midfielder.
No, I don't think Caicedo. I think Andre Santos is, but I think Caicedo they're trying to loan him.
Yeah, we will see, but we'll see. Continue on the line. Sorry.
No. This Tayo forgot to add the kid from Aston Villa. Is it Chukwuemeka?
Yeah, also
Yeah, he's
Chukwemeka,
going
yes.
on loan. That
Now,
man, that guy must be going on loan too.
Leo Chuku, Leo Chuku, Leo
No,
Chuku,
Chuku.
Leo Chuku.
No,
Chuku,
Chuku.
Chuku.
Mhm.
It's Chuku. He might be going on loan too, man.
no,
But
I think they'll still add more players because Abdullah, you
What
said
about
you are changing.
Madueke? What about Madueke?
nah, I'm still
No,
looking
Madueke
at
is
that
playing,
guy.
man. He's staying.
He's still
This is
driving.
why I said
Can you
4-2-3-1
guys hear
is
me?
an abomination for us.
It's
Can you
not an
guys hear me?
abomination. Listen, I want any player that is agnostic to formation. I just want players that can play any formation.
Let me finish up the chat. I think I was having
We're
an
very
issue.
limited. If you judge our players based on formation, then we're a limited squad.
So
We're
vote for
limited.
peace said the Dakar Tami, relax. Vote.
This is funny,
Oh
very funny.
no.
Very, very funny.
Vote.
That's very
Vote.
funny.
My brother, relax, please. I beg.
Let that guy say
The
that.
criminal behavior, if you guys relax.
FB, don't mind them. That is criminal. It is going to be
No,
criminal
but to be
behavior.
honest,
FPS,
Havertz is not going anywhere.
said the orphan camp you guys are building there's no guarantee.
Oh wait, Blue Eyes. I actually wanted to ask you, what do you think about, because you guys are selling a lot of your players, Kovacic to City.
Don't worry.
What happened to that?
Yo, man, I don't know how we did that deal for 40 million, Tosin. That's what we were talking about earlier. The way Chelsea pulled that rabbit out of the hat, man.
He always
But
black.
what if he looks like a genius for them though? What if he starts the ball?
Tosin, forget about that. Tosin, we bought this guy 2018, 14 mil
14
from a
million.
loan deal.
Oh, okay.
A loan. Remember that loan deal when we couldn't?
Yeah,
I will
from
still do
Madrid,
14 million.
The loan deal that turned into a sale. So we got him at 40 mil, and if imagine if we were not banned that year, maybe we wouldn't buy Kovacic.
Yes.
But what if all
Where's
these
King
guys
Black, by
start
the way?
balling? You know, Kovacic, Havertz, Mount. They start balling at their next clubs. What are you guys gonna
It is
say?
what it is.
It is what it
No,
is,
no,
Yeah,
man.
maybe it was not meant to be. I'm not mad
You know, I
at
have
it.
an agenda. You know, I have an
What can you
agenda
do?
with Kovacic.
Let me read my chat, but
Tosin.
I'm not
Yeah,
mad.
one second, Abdullah. 1 second, Abdullah. Tosin, this is Chelsea Football Club. If you cannot play for Chelsea Football Club
You don't
and you
deserve
can't
to.
make it here, you have to leave. I'm sorry.
That's fair.
and Tosin, the thing is, the thing
That's
is,
the best way to
that
put it. I'm trying to be nice.
number one, we are a hated club. Number one,
Thank you.
number one, we are a hated club. Number two, we always have a negative PR. So anything that comes out of Chelsea, they will start giving it a positive spin anyway. So I won't be surprised. Kova plays one game and make 2 square passes. They're going to say like, "Oh, he's a Ballon d'Or player." But where was he when he was playing? When he was playing next to Modric?
No comment.
It's true.
It's true. You have
It's
to
true.
be a
It's true.
special.
But
Abdullah,
Havertz is.
you have to be a special type of personality to make it in this
Yo,
club.
where is King Black,
Seriously.
man? Where's King Black?
He will never show up. He will never show up.
You'll find,
You know,
you'll find
King Black made a space dedicated to
Listen,
Kovacic.
I need
Can you
listen,
imagine
guys.
that?
Before anybody says something really quickly, I just need to send very hearty congratulations to whoever negotiated that deal for 40 million.
It's crazy.
So
Marina.
Is that Marina?
No, it's not Marina.
Marina.
It's the
Marina is long gone, man.
director for Whistling and Augustine.
Somebody's
2018, Abdullah.
we have a
Marina.
very sharp. We have a very
2018.
sharp.
That's Marina.
Somebody's
No,
very
no,
sharp. in that board.
but Blue Eyes, you have to give me credit for pointing out to you that post Vivel things have changed at Chelsea. I mentioned that up to 40 times on streams. You guys never believe me. Post Vivel, we're not for Christmas anymore. Just giving away players for free. You know, paying exorbitant prices for player. I don't think it's going to happen again. So everybody has
Vote said he's a live wire. Go to France. Every African kid look like you are sick. Vote. You are sick. Vote also said Opanka is, oh my God, Lord have mercy.
Oh wow.
It's so true. No, yo, listen, don't disrespect Samir Nasir, man.
This is actually
Oh boy, Samir Nasir was a bad man on ice.
Vote for this said the only number Opanka knows is H.
Oh wow. HD cut. Wow, that's not nice.
That's Ash. That's
Yeah. But he looks fresh. I can't lie. He always looks fresh.
Listen,
can't lie.
I'm gonna be very critical with Opanka until he's got to tell us show us what he can do.
He's not the main striker. Chelsea are looking for main striker. We'll see.
Exactly,
Vote
he's
also
not the main
said.
striker. Thank you.
Vote also said he's a Gambian but was born in Senegal. Yeah, was born in Senegal.
Because I was gonna ask that Jackson last name. I was gonna
Yes,
ask the
he's from
origin.
Gambia, but he's born in Senegal. He's from
Okay.
Wait, who's
SSB.
Opanka? Who's Opanka?
Enzo
Opanka
Fernandez.
is the Enzo now.
Oh, come
Abdullah
on.
is Abba.
Yo, why would you call him that though? Why?
Blue eyes with his.
Blame Blue
Those
Eyes.
type
Blame
of
Blue
players,
Eyes.
but those type of players that play as if they have slippers on, right? It's because they're very good. It's because they're very good, though. Don't you think?
SSB said Abdullah
Old
is.
Robert don't die, man. Old Robert don't die.
SSB.
Blue Eyes. Repent for your sin, Blue Eyes.
Opanka.
That name will stick. You know, right? That name will stick forever.
SSB said, I can't blame Vlahovic when Allegri is terrorist. What that means.
No, but guys, but seriously, that semi-final against
yes,
what's their name?
I corrected
Sevilla.
myself.
Disgusting.
In the team. Aliou Cisse brought him to the squad for the Qatar, but I think he played only 10 minutes in the World Cup. He didn't.
Yeah, he only played. He didn't play. I don't remember.
He didn't play much, but he was in the squad. Aliou Cisse brought him to the squad,
and he couldn't get into the squad with no Sadio Mane.
Yeah.
No, that's kind of. Is that a
No, but
red
this guy before then, he didn't even play in a professional. He didn't even play in a top flight.
The way I look at it, guys, really quick. The way I look at it,
This guy look like he came from a Jegule of Dakar.
When you want to hire somebody new in a company, right? And you have different stages of your hiring process. The first stage is let's see if the person meets the YouTube standard.
Okay.
And stage one,
guys, even when I met the YouTube standard.
Thank you. Anyone with music, Gallagher with music looks good. Gallagher with music looks good. We need to stop this nonsense of music. Stop putting music behind compilations. I don't like it.
No, hold on. Listen.
No, Gallagher can never look good.
I need to say something.
No, listen, man. With the beat drop and a pass, you look crazy.
Little guys.
I just want to say something. This is very important. There is a new dimension of media that YouTube has brought to the table. You understand? So in this, today I found out that who is it? Nicholas Jackson and Caicedo have the same agent.
Yeah, the same agent. Yes.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's a very good point.
That out. So again, this is why I like.
What are you trying to say, Blue Eyes?
Abdullah, you remember when I introduced the concept of agency?
Yes, you did it. Yeah, you did.
Remember when I said agency? When I say agency
and everything.
Because of agency right now, we might potentially see a case where Caicedo and
Nicolas Jackson. Yeah,
exactly. Just because you have one guy managing both files.
Yeah. Abdullah,
wait. So Blue Eyes, are you saying that the agent told the ownership, "I'll help you get Caicedo as much as I can. Give this boy a chance"?
That's the agent's job, my brother. That's a good question.
I like that.
That's a good question.
Don't forget, according to reports, they said Jackson said he only wants to go to Chelsea because I think 3 other teams want him.
You see.
So that might be the agent working in the background as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, there was. I think it was AC Milan and Leipzig that wanted it.
You see, good lad. So, Kiman, that's a fantastic question. That is why I'm saying a lot of players, right? It's their agencies that make them look good. You know. Sometimes that when you check somebody's website, you be like, wow.
Oh guys, case in point. Romelu Lukaku.
Exactly.
Why do you have to say his name? Why do you have to bring that man's name?
Let me remind you guys of one funny thing. I'm not sure, but who do you think Pep Guardiola's first signing was?
I can't remember. I really can't.
Wasn't it? No, it was not David. It wasn't Bravo.
Was it Nolito or something?
No.
I think we might be surprised. I'm not 100% sure. I think we might be surprised. I think it's a Nigerian kid called Kayode Olanrewaju or something. But then he didn't even. I don't think he even dropped in.
Was it a signing though, or was it like just a Man City signing?
So Abdul, are
No,
you telling me he left him on the bus?
no, I think he was signed and he was linked to Girona in Spain.
Girona, yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
parent club or whatever.
yeah. He was linked to Girona, and then 2 years later he was sold again. So I'm just trying to reinforce what Blue Eye said earlier on.
I
Hey,
never
Blue
heard
Eyes, you're
about him.
hosting, huh? Blue Eyes is the host now.
That some
Big
of
up,
these
big up,
kids,
Blue Eyes.
that some of these kids, it's agency work. So that shows sometimes or most times that it's important you have a good agent.
You're right.
Man,
It really does. It
But
really does. And
it
and
is.
again, I bring the question again: is it a Poch signing or is it data driven? Come
I
on, guys. Come on.
listen. Even if it listen, let me tell you this. Even if it is data driven, let's assume it's data driven. I'll take this one for a spin. You know when you go to
Yeah,
buy a
you're
car,
right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, for the
You're right.
price, yeah, I don't
give
mind
me,
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
give me the keys. Let me take this for a spin. Listen, that's
No,
why
this.
when I
Yeah,
say
I'm
Can it
watching
be
the
worse than
videos.
Havertz?
I'm watching some videos right
Can it
now.
be worse
Like
than Havertz, guys?
this guy is actually good.
Yeah, it's
yo,
decent. No, but
Yeah,
for
like
me the
he's
thing is that
pacey, long legs,
yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
very
But the thing is
wiry.
that don't he's
I
playing
like it.
the Spanish league is there's a lot less physicality. So I think it's going to be easier for him to dominate that league. Like
He didn't. No, but honestly, I'm gonna tell you this:
No,
like La Liga is actually more physical than people give it credit for. It's
no,
very
it's not.
physical.
He is, but
Yeah.
no, but if you
It's
compare it to the
physical.
like if you compare it to the Premier League or like the French league, it's not as physical as these leagues. There, that's
no,
why I like
Kenny,
for
Kenny,
me. Yeah,
Kenny, remember Isaac or what's his name? Isaac.
Isaac.
Isaac,
Yeah,
yeah, Isaac.
Yeah.
Exactly. People thought, oh, is he going to whatever? But look at him. He's comfortable.
yeah, but it took time.
His per 90 numbers are better than Vlahovic like last season. If you just take last season into account.
But
Oh, he
Yeah,
had
but see,
a
but
conversion rate. He had a conversion rate of
yeah,
32%.
his
That's too
conversion rate
high.
was crazy. Yeah, that's too high.
That's
Like
not
that's not
sustainable.
sustainable.
That's not
Yeah,
sustainable. No.
that's not sustainable. That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
these 6 months, there might just be a purple patch. So I'm like, because this is the first 6 months. He's only had 6 months at a high level performing like that. So that's why I'm like, people need to chill. Like it's not going to be that player you've seen in the highlights. That's not the player you're going to see at Chelsea.
No. I've seen him in 190 minutes, and as I've said, I think number one, I think he's good. Number two, I'll take him for that price any day, anytime. But
yes,
number three,
Mhm.
his style of play reminds me of Kudus, but he's not yet as good as Kudus. And I still, if I'm going to be honest, I still think even this kid is better than is at this stage is better than him. What's his name? The Fofana guy. I think Fofana is
Datro
better than him.
Fofana. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
But
more. He's a more
you can't
complete player.
blame
Yeah, more
you
definitely.
can't blame Datro for the shit he's been through this season. You can't blame him for that.
No. I
You
mean
know,
the striker, the Ivorian kid striker.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. But
He's
he's
a
like
No,
he's
better
but
not.
one.
but
He's like he's younger than
no,
him as well.
wait. But Abdul, wait. I believe that Datro is more of an out and out number 9 than this kid. To be fair,
I agree.
I
Uh-huh.
really
I
do
agree.
believe that
The,
Datro is
the,
more of a natural striker than this kid.
yeah. Well, they both got their style of play. Datro looks like more like a out and out number 9, as you've said.
Exactly.
But they both play the number officially. They both carry the number 9 label. But I think
Hmm.
Datro is even better than him at the moment. But I think this guy, with young players, it's just all about development. Because when you get to this level, it means you have the ability. So it's just about
Yeah.
development. So only if this kid can develop properly, I don't have any fear that he wouldn't be a good player. So for 30
Yeah.
million, I think it's a good deal. It's a fantastic deal. And I think he
For
can
me,
deliver. I think he can deliver, although we might not be able to rely on him only
mhm.
because he's a kid, and that's not his fault. But the thing is, I still have this question mark in my mind why Fofana has not played more than he played last season. Because
But it wasn't.
that kid
I
is
think he wasn't ready. He wasn't
that kid
ready.
is
Are you
sharp.
talking about, which Fofana are we
From what
talking
I've
about?
seen from
Datro?
him, that's all. Yeah. For me, from what I've
No, the
seen, it
reason
was
why he didn't play is because firstly he was thrown in the trenches by Potter. Secondly,
Yeah,
Lampard,
yeah.
I have God knows what Lampard does. God knows how
Oh, he
that
played
mind
on
works.
Okay, okay.
But
He played
he
on
did play with the youth team, so. But for me,
Was he playing
the
right
thing
back?
is, yeah, with the youth team, yeah. But the thing is that for me, it's like it's good to be buying the young players, yeah. But for me, at some point, a lot of them, I think, some of them, I think, we're just buying them for profit wise, because I think a lot of them, they're not gonna
No,
make it
no, no,
out
no,
here.
no, 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 Kenny. Since we're going this multi club process, you have to
Yeah,
bring in young talent from the beginning. You have to, because
yeah, no,
you cannot. You need to be able to feed these clubs with the players that you want to develop. And I don't know. It seems a bit like a bit confused and hurried at this point right now. But give it 2 years, give it 3 years, you will see like what they're trying to do. In my personal
But
opinion,
but but
yeah, I hope so, but yeah, because but right
but
now
Kenny,
we don't have clubs yet.
no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
yeah,
but
no,
Kenny,
that's the thing.
isn't Arsenal a relatively young squad?
yes, but you see these young players, yeah, they have how do you call it? For me, they've had enough game time, and the thing is that for the past 2 3 years, yeah, you've had young
Hey,
players
Ogakai.
that had less pressure because they knew Arsenal they didn't have the type of pressure that these because when you go to for the past 2 3 years, yeah, a lot of these players they had time to develop the games and they know that there was no
Let's go.
pressure on Arsenal. There was no pressure on Arsenal to win title and like be good as soon as you come in. These young players, when you come here, the pressure is the type of pressure that is here is
The
different to the type of pressure that there
The
was at
Chelsea
Arsenal.
play pressure is different, and I think
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
because of the Chelsea pressure that players like Kai Havertz and even
yeah, yeah,
Kovacic run away. You
yeah,
know,
yeah. That's the thing.
You
But the
know,
thing
and you
is
know,
that
if
actually, by the way, wait 1 second. And Abdul, you made a
yeah,
really good point with Pulisic. When did Pulisic play well? If you guys remember, it was during lockdown. You remember?
just like 2 months in the lockdown, yeah.
Mhm. That's when his best. That's when, like, I was even shocked. Pulisic. I said, "Wait, what the hell? This is the soccer they play over in America. I like it." But now,
So,
what
guys,
happened to this guy?
even yesterday he scored 2 goals against
Yeah,
Mexico.
he scored 2 goals. It is so weird. I don't understand that guy. I really don't.
guys, let's see because so many transfers gonna be happening this week because it's June. We're gonna have July. So many players. Hopefully, we get a player profile we wanted in terms of the player. But like I said, no Europa League, no Champions League. We have to do at least maximum second or third. Win the Carabao Cup, win the FA Cup. That's what I want from the club. We'll see how it goes. Kai Mason, Cocaine Gallagher, Ngolo, and everybody potentially might be leaving. Hakim Ziyech, Saudi Arabia.
Bakayoko has been terminated. Hey, listen, man, we're going the right direction, in my personal opinion.
We'll see. Like the vid, guys. Subscribe, smash the like button. Everybody, I really appreciate you guys for coming in.
Peace, man.
Peace out, guys. God bless. Stay safe and have a blessed
peace,
night,
big up,
guys. Peace,
peace.
everybody.